give it some time to prime. I trust Restream, but I don't fully trust Restream.
Few seconds, yeah.
Few seconds, let it sort itself out. That being said, I think that's enough vamping.
Jesus!
Hi, I'm Trevor, and welcome to Catching Up on Cinema. If you aren't familiar with the program, Catching Up on Cinema is a film analysis podcast wherein we introduce each other to films, expand our cinematic horizons, and, in essence, catch up on our cinema. So, it is the month of October 2025, just a few days prior to Halloween, or a couple days, three days prior to Halloween. Anyway, and it is now time for that special monthly tradition of ours. It is time for us to conduct the monthly live stream, the Tales from the Shelf episode. And in joining me in this endeavor, I have my good buddy Brad from the Cinema Speak podcast. How's it going, Brad?
It's going excellent. Another month has gone by extremely quickly, but we are back, and some could say it's the most wonderful time of the year. I might say that. I don't know about you, but I am happy to collaborate with you every month, but especially in October.
Yeah, this is the spooky season. Between the two of us, Brad is probably the horror enthusiast or connoisseur. As you may have noticed, there is a bright red Giallo box set, very beautiful box set, hanging just over your shoulder there, as well as
there's a
Jaws
few. We got a rainbow of Giallo back here.
Now, why is one elevated above the others, Brad? There is one, and then there are four. What is going on with that?
Well, you know how the number one rule of collectors is that you put your favorite copy of everything at the top of your shelf, and then you rank it that way. No, it's just alphabetically. It just is going this way. So that was the first Giallo essential, and then we jump down here and go this way, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, thanks for that, Keanu. Okay, so thank you for joining me as always, Brad. But as tends to be the case here at Tales from the Shelf, our discussion this evening is going to be a guided one. We do have a theme. You may have noticed there's a graphic looming in the background behind our respective webcam feeds. And this month, being as it is just a few days prior to Halloween, and it is the spooky season, the topic at hand is going to be blood and guts. We're going to be talking about gory films, bloody films, movies with lots of bloodletting and viscera. Now, this is an open-ended genre category that we're talking about. This doesn't necessarily have to be horror specific. I lay that caveat on the table right away because, as I said, Brad is the horror guy between the two of us. We got a horror guy in our midst and we got an action guy. So more than likely, I'm going to be talking about a lot of action stuff. And I assume Brad's going to be talking about a lot of horror stuff.
Yeah, most of mine are horror. I want to throw a quick question out to you. I pretty much am guaranteed that I know what your answer is, but just for sake of discussion, in terms of horror, I think you can kind of classify horror in maybe there's two camps that I think you can belong in. You know, like I always say, there's two camps of people. There's the camp of person who cringes at eye stuff, and the person that cringes at teeth stuff. You know, like gore to the eye, gore to the teeth. That's not what I'm talking about. If you want to comment on that, you can tell me later. But would you say for you, when it comes to horror, are you the guy that prefers horror movies that are gory, or would you prefer something that is more slow and suspenseful, atmospheric sort of thing? You know what I mean? Like a Strangers versus a Friday the 13th Part 6 or something like that. Just, that kind of comparison.
Okay, that's fun examples that you just tossed out there, by the way.
Just ones that came to the top of my head. I don't know.
No, I like it. I like it. By the way, Scott Walker has a question here. Happy Halloween, boys. What are your plans for Halloween night? Let me answer this question real quick, and then we'll address your question, Scott. My taste tends to veer towards gore. I tend to be an effects whore for gore effects and stuff. It's why the Terrifier movies actually work for me when they certainly do not for everybody. It's why the Hatchet films work for me when they certainly do not for everybody. It's why the Friday the 13th movies work for me. Certainly do not for everybody, because those movies are razor thin in terms of plot and characterization. I would never think to show those to my fiance. She would be bored to tears trying to watch those movies, and yeah, it would be a whole ordeal. But yeah, I tend to go more towards the splatter, towards the gore. Those are the ones that tend to catch my attention when there are headlines and stuff.
Mhm.
I have Kyle, though, my regular co-host on Catching Up on Cinema, as my drip feed for like actual horror films. See, I have that problem where I step outside of the experience. Kyle doesn't have that problem. I love watching Kyle watch movies. It is the most amazing thing. It's actually my fiance is the same way, where they live it, like they're in it. It's real to it's still real to them, damn it. And like Kyle like protects his neck and he like puts his hood up and stuff. He goes, "Oh!"
I love
Like
it.
when shit happens in the theater. It's the most amazing thing. Weapons with
Mhm.
he and my fiance next to me, incredible. I don't do that. I don't engage with the thing on that visceral of a level. So I'm not there to be scared. I'm there to like be like, "Whoa, wow, that's neat." Like I'm there to go like, "Huh, how did they pull that one off?"
Mhm.
And also a little bit of that sometimes when they do it really, really well. But how about yourself, Brett?
So you're more of a blood guy. I think I'm more of a brood guy. I like the
Ooh,
brooding, not the Brood, although I love that movie.
it's a
But
good movie.
I was trying to think of something to go with gore. I got blood versus brood. I'm trying to think like a comparison. A nice phonetical comparison. But yeah, I think I prefer atmosphere and suspense over blood. I mean, I love both, so I really don't have. I can go either way. But I think if I had to go one or the other, most of my favorite horror films lean more into the atmospheric over the effects heavy.
Well, I mean, the perfect thing obviously is when they nail both.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Because
obviously.
I'm very much a aesthetics oriented person. It like superb lights with sound really, really work with me. A good vibes experience really,
Hmm.
really works for me. I'm not well versed in the giallo genre, but I feel like that is a genre where they often check both boxes, where it's like
Oh
you
yeah,
get your bloodletting fix, but you also get your colored lighting and your inexplicable use of disco music and stuff. You get a lot of boxes checked in that way. So if you can pull off both, I'm here for it. It's not like I need it to be a heavy metal horror experience to enjoy it.
yeah,
Like in most cases, like splatter and gore movies tend to veer that direction. I've noticed it is an aesthetic that I'm not a part of, but so it's like I like the one thing, but probably wouldn't hang out with the people who obsess over these movies, honestly. So it's this weird thing. I'm a little bit of a cultural island to myself when it comes to these things. But before we move on, let's address the the Walker in the room, the Scott Walker, not Doug Walker. I wish Doug Walker would pop by. That would be kind of cool. Um, Bald head, cue ball, and all. So Scott says, "What are your plans for Halloween night?" Also shares that he is having a couple friends over for horror movie night with junk food, soft drinks, and soft drinks. That is not a phrase I hear spoken in daily life very often. That's something I see written in like corporate speak and
yeah,
like
yeah.
corporate pamphlets, but soft drinks is not hot drinks. That's something I say all the time. There's a great Wendy's training song called Hot Drinks, by the way, that I may in fact have played at my wedding. It's incredible, Brad. I should put it
Uh,
on my soundboard, actually.
yeah, I'll have to check
Shit.
this out.
But soft drinks, that is not a phrase I hear spoken out loud. And they're going to watch the Scream movies that my fiance will be showing us too. That's wonderful, Scott. Good for you. But
Nice.
Brad, Halloween plans, you got any?
Nothing too crazy. I might watch the new Hell House movie, Hell House LLC Lineage. But other than that, I don't really have much going on. I'm working during the day and don't really get any trick or treaters at my place. So I'll probably just watch some scary movies.
Okay. I mean, sounds nice. What number Hell House is that? Is that like two?
I believe that is 5. This
Wow.
is yeah, this
Holy
is
shit.
it releases on Shutter on Halloween. So that's why
Okay.
um I have not heard great things, but hoping to be pleasantly surprised.
I think you mentioned that like it is a bit of a it's a
Oh
roller
yeah.
coaster.
Oh,
Like
it
some of
is.
these Hell House sequels go places.
But then when the highs hit because the lows are so low, the highs are so high.
Yeah, see, I pay attention. I listen to your show.
Yeah.
Cinema Speak podcast, people. Check
Yes.
it out. That's cool though. Well, hey, if I can swing it, maybe maybe we could do another live stream or something.
Yeah, there you go.
So, like, if you're not doing shit, I'm not doing shit, except for I might have to be on door duty if we do get trick or treaters.
Mm.
But I hate doing that. Like, I have no problem with Halloween. I just get a lot of anxiety about answering the door. So if I can weasel my way out of that, be like, "Oh, I'm streaming with my buddy Brad. I'm sorry, I can't get the door, honey." Like, I might try to swing that. So
Yeah.
if you're not busy, I'm not busy. It's got ads. Australian thing. Well, it's an Aussie thing over here. Over here, we call them soft drinks. Okay, I learned something. Halloween has become a lot more popular in Australia. It wasn't as popular in Australia in the 90s and 2000s, but become a lot more popular now. Why is that? What's the deal with Halloween in Australia? I don't know. How would I know? I'm a dumb American.
Yeah, I don't know.
That being said,
Horror is bigger than ever. That'd be my
before we
only
get a
thought.
deluge of further comments, let us proceed to the picks, Brad. So the theme, of course, is blood and guts. So we're going to be talking about gory, bloody films. So, Brad, now comes the part where I do my hosting duty here. Toss you promptly in the direction of the oncoming bus and ask that, hey, how about you be the first one to share one of your blood and guts picks?
Well, you know what, Trevor? I kind of want to gamify this a little bit.
Ooh.
So I believe I have 18 picks here. And can I ask you to pick a number 1 through 18? And I will pick that one. And as God is my witness, I will not shuffle them. I will pick the number that you choose, good or bad.
Well, in the spirit of the season, let's go with 13.
Okay. Vamp for a second while I count.
Okay, so I'm just going to say some stuff. I probably have considerably more than 18 picks, but a lot of them are going to be multi-picks. There's a lot of theming going on with my selection of movies. As I said at the top, quite a lot of my stuff is more than likely going to be more action-oriented rather than horror. I do have horror movies. It's just, as I said, I really enjoy a lot of horror movies. I don't own many of them. So my picks are going to be limited in that way. But yeah, I have a lot more than 18. I'll just tell you that much.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, 13 was not a great choice, but as I said, as God is my witness, I will stick with it.
Hey, WrestleMania 13 sucked except for Brett and Austin. So, it is what it is.
Well, mostly just because I know I've talked about it many times before, and I'm due for a rewatch on this because the gore is not as prominent in my brain, but I know it is gory. Right here, I've got one of the greatest franchises of all time, the greatest film of all time, some would say. Specifically for greatest film of all time, we have Scanner Cop 2, The Showdown, the classic. Let me.
Yes.
How do I flip this again?
How do you flip the switch?
I think we've been. Oh, I got to go to settings. Here we go. Okay.
It might be because the image is flipped, Brad, but the good half of that guy's face, the portion that has his mouth, looks kind of like Tim Robbins or something.
I could see that.
Or Buford Pusser.
That's pretty accurate to how it is in the film. We got Scanner Cop right there. If you're a fan of the Scanner franchise, as I am, you got to pick up this Vinegar Syndrome release. One of my favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases. And yeah, Scanner Cop 2 is really the highlight here. And a lot of people think I'm joking when I say that, but I'm not. I do think Scanner Cop 2 is the best Scanner Cop movie and potentially the best Scanners movie.
Well, potentially the best film ever made.
Of all time. Yeah. Some would say. But it's just, it's kind of like, it's not high art, but I like that it literally is just kind of it's a police procedural because it is Scanner Cop, of course, but it is kind of just a slasher in that our villain is just going around and just scanning people. He's scanning people and their heads are exploding and they're having all these weird deformities on their body. And it's just, I think you would really like it because, like you said, you're an effects guy, you're a gore heavy guy, and this movie is pretty much all that. It's just like what's the thing about slasher movies? They say there needs to be boobs or kills every 8 minutes, and this one is just like, on a rhythm. It's just like boom, 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 and every single one is just really creative and clever, and I think the effects are good. and I actually really like the performances too. Specifically, Patrick Kilpatrick as the
Oh,
villain.
no shit.
He's good.
He
Like
is a good villain, actually. Like
he's got just that vibe to him, you know.
what year was that one?
Mm, it's a good question. I am
Because
the number one fan, so I should know.
he had
94.
that sounds about right. I don't know if you know him outside of that movie, but he's got one of those fucking faces that he's one of those guys in like every action movie in the 90s. Like he's been killed by Van Damme, he's been killed by Steven Seagal, he's been killed by Treat Williams of all people. He's been killed by the best. We was beaten by the best is what Patrick Kilpatrick would tell you on his deathbed. But he's one of those guys that's also kind of like a decent actor on top of that.
Yeah, he's pretty good, especially, going in with the expectation, oh, this is Scanner Cop 2. Like, this is the spinoff of Scanners and the sequel to that. Like, they actually do a pretty good job with it. And only other thing I know of him off the top of my head is another Vinegar Syndrome release. He's in The Cellar. The Cellar he's in.
Cellar. I don't know that one.
Yeah, that one not as good as Scanner Cop 2, but Patrick Kilpatrick is pretty good in it. He plays the father of a young boy who suspects that there is a creature in the cellar. And yeah, it's okay. But yeah, Scanner Cop 2 might be his masterpiece.
Might be a masterpiece. Yeah, apparently quietly, very quietly, one of the best films ever made. We're spreading the word here.
Yep.
This is ground zero for spreading the word that Scanner Cop 2 is the best film ever made, starring Patrick Kilpatrick as the villain. Yeah, I never heard of The Cellar, but I've certainly heard of Cellar Dweller. That's a goofy one. That's a fun little one. But yes, that Vinegar Syndrome package is a nifty box set. I love the packaging on it. I mean, I'm sure it has the premium treatment from Vinegar Syndrome. I actually almost picked that up because the podcast that kind of inspired Kyle and I to get started in podcasting, I think they have a commentary track on one of those.
Really?
Mind if you check the box? I don't know which Scanner Cop it is, but it's the We Hate Movies guys.
Let's see here.
One of them has one of those Polish names that has lots of Z's and Y's in it. It's like Eric Siska, I think is how you pronounce it.
Let's see. Extended
And
making
Chris
of
Cabin.
documentary. Oh, commentary track by the We Hate Movies podcast. That's
There you
on
go.
the first one.
Yeah.
Second one, not on the second one. So
Yeah, so it's the first one. The inferior Scanner Cop film.
I hope they try, like they asked to be on number 2 and Vinegar Syndrome said, no, we just want you on number 1. I hope that was the case.
Well,
Otherwise,
what more than likely happened was they volunteered, and then Martin Scorsese was like, "Whoa, sit down, guys." It's like Marty's here. I got this. We're talking Scanner Cop 2, fellas.
Yes,
Sit your podcasting asses down. Marty's here.
Yep.
Either that or
man.
Big Jim. Big Jim Cameron showed up and was like, "Yo, I got this. We're talking Scanner Cop 2."
There are lots of fans out there. There are dozens of us.
For the greatest film ever made. By the way, Scott Walker has some more intrusive and disruptive comments to contribute. So we're going to flash them on the screen because we have exactly 3 people watching and I have no one else to engage with. So thank you, Scott, for being a disruption. In Scream 7, how's Stu going to get his old ghost face mask if it's in New York City and evidence has been confirmed he's going to be wearing his old mask? In Screen 7, it's going to be Ghostface attack, and at school, somebody gets absolutely gutted, but one who is going to be. I didn't hear a question in there, but Matthew Lillard in Scream 7. Is it going to happen? We talked about this last month, Brad. We talk about this every month.
There was a question in there. It's how is Stu going to get his old Ghostface mask?
Punctuation, motherfucker. I don't see none. Never end a sentence with a preposition, Bork.
Yeah.
I learned that from Beavis and Butthead to America.
Opening scene is going to be Stu getting the mask out of evidence or wherever it's at, and then that's how it opens. It's my prediction right here. Call it.
if he doesn't say I'm feeling a little woozy here, we riot.
Yeah.
If you get Matthew Lillard and he doesn't declare himself feeling a little woozy, I'm sorry. Scream 7, worst Scream in the whole fucking Scream franchise. By the way, topical, Scott. I actually succeeded, Brad, in getting my fiance to watch all of the Scream movies.
Wow.
Yeah, we're up to 5. If we finish this up early enough, we might actually watch 5 tonight.
Yeah.
And she's actually enjoying them. She doesn't do horror, but she's really enjoying these, like, sincerely.
Is it the sort of murder mystery angle? Like the, yeah, that's the same thing with my wife. It's like, that's people love that. And that's one of the things I love about the Scream movies.
Yeah, no, that's how I sold it to her. And also like they actually have aged really well. Like Scream 4 is like way better than when I first saw it. Like in 2011, it didn't land as well. Like I still liked it, but they were ahead of the curve actually with the live streaming stuff and the influencer culture and stuff. They were ahead of us. In 2025, that movie lands a lot better.
Wes knew what he was doing. Wes knew what he was doing. He said, if I'm going out at an absolute banger. And he was right.
Yeah. And Scream 3, I do think it's like the first dip in the franchise, but it's not that big of a dip. Like it's still like Parker Posey's there. Like it whatever dip there is to be had, Parker Posey kind of buoys the whole thing just with her sheer goofiness. I'm curious what's going to happen, like how the fiance is going to react to 5 and 6, though, because yeah, our leading lady kind of sucks. like she was it Melissa? Is it Barrera? I
I
think.
think so. Yeah.
Just and Ghost Dad. Nobody likes Ghost Dad. Ghost Dad is allegedly a bad person. On top, I'm making a Bill
Cosby's
joke.
in that movie. Okay.
Ghost Dad is allegedly a bad person. But yeah, the Ghost Dad stuff is exactly what didn't work in Scream 3. Also, it's like anytime we're veering into the supernatural territory, is like get out, get it out, pull it out, get out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
So Scott gets one more, and then I am moving on. So I am one of those Scream fans who do believe Stu was the one that killed Dewey in the hospital, not Amber, because she was organizing her party and he was the one that attacked Gail in New York. Spoilers, Scott. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no comment. Okay, well, I'm going to do a multi-pick. Pick is to me now, because it's my right as the host. So you talked about kind of a pseudo slasher of sorts. I'm going to talk about not that, but I'm going to take us on a jet plane. We're going to Street Fighter 2 in the jet plane, China or Hong Kong or Taiwan. So we're going to go to China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan to talk about 4 different movies of varying genres, but they all have quite a lot of bloodletting. So I'll lead with Taiwan, and this I lead with it because this is one that Brad certainly knows. The Sadness, which has Loudly and Proudly, Big as Life and Twice as Ugly in the center of the box, a Shudder original, which I don't know that that's true. I think it was in this territory. It was hosted on Shudder, but pretty sure this was a movie before Shudder commissioned it.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a Taiwanese horror movie that was noted for its bloodletting and its gore and its violence. Copious amounts of bloodletting, lots of cruelty, but actually not that much gore. But what I mean by that is like we don't get a whole lot of eyeballs ripped out or intestines like torn out and thrown on the walls and stuff. It's mostly just fluid, just lots and lots of red stuff. So just for sheer volume of bloodletting, this would certainly qualify just because quite a lot of blood. It's a very, very bloody movie, and some of the cruelty in it is effective. I didn't think it was as good as its reputation. Like it was overly hyped.
I thought I watched it and I was like, that. I mean, I didn't want to say like that was it, but I had a little bit of that feeling like, oh, that wasn't as like bad as I thought it was going to be. There was reviews and opinions out there saying you were not going to be able to handle the sadness, and I thought it was a nice Saturday afternoon matinee watch.
You won't last 2 minutes
yeah.
watching the sadness.
But that's one of my picks as well.
Oh.
So
Oh, let me see. You got the slipcase on yours.
yeah, I got the fancy dancy.
Ooh. Well, see, that's a really cool case. Like
Yeah,
you
that
got
is
it the
cool.
right way. You did good, Brad.
I had to hurry up and buy this. I had to hurry up and buy this before my niece's ballet recital. I was in the audience, and I checked the Vinegar Syndrome site because the movies came on, and I saw the stock was dipping, and so I was hurrying up and punching in my card info and buying it before the lights came down. Woo!
I think that's happened to me every time I've tried to buy something on Vinegar Syndrome. Is like somehow like my info's just not stored in there. So I'm like,
Mhm.
fuck. I gotta like pull my wallet out and fish out the card and like shit. And there's a timer and everything.
It's a rush. It's a rush.
It's a rush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap
Now,
thrills. But
this is a 4K, right? You got a 4K, right?
yes.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, yours, like I really love the packaging on yours. Thank you
That
for
is pretty
showing
nice.
that.
Yeah.
I got mine. I bought this in person. I went
Mm.
to Scarecrow Video here in Seattle, which I've told you about many times, Brad. It's a living museum of physical media. It's certainly worth the pilgrimage if you're an enthusiast. They do sell videos on top of renting them in every format under the sun. But they had a special Vinegar Syndrome event where they just had like a card table set up, and there was a gal selling Vinson titles like tax free. Just like, give me $30. Here's your Blu-ray. I was like, yes, please. Speaking of which, I went to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. It's an annual tradition with me and my fiance. I went there a couple weeks ago actually, and they had a discotheque media table.
Mm.
And fuck, Brad, I could have just dumped my wallet on that guy's desk
Mhm.
because it was all tax free and it was all like $5 denominations. It was like, so you mean I give you $20, no change, and I get a Blu-ray that normally costs 28 with tax or whatever? I was like my fiance saw it on my face. She was like, You're gonna walk away with that whole table, aren't you?"
You
And I was
gotta
like,
she was
"No."
like, "Get him out of here. Go, go, get him
Yeah,
out of here. Run,
like I was like,
run."
I gotta drink. I gotta get something. Like I need a cool glass of water or something. I gotta cool off.
And
So
I know for me, if you're actually, if the discs are in front of you physically, it's so much easier to just boom, 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 like keep on buying. You're like, I can't stop. You know what I mean?
it it was a struggle. Like
Mhm.
it's like now I know what an addict feels like. Jesus Christ. It's like Jesus Christ.
No,
Like,
good for you. Good for you for, stepping back.
I bought one. I wanted to buy like 6 though.
Mhm.
Anyway, sadness. Like I said, I bought this at Scarecrow Video, like from a gal who's selling Vincent stuff. Um, so let's get back on the plane and go to uh Hong Kong. Oh, by the way, uh, your captain speaking has just joined us. That would be my buddy Levi, who has a lovely YouTube channel reviewing men's fiction, uh, the genre of books. I actually had him on the show very recently to talk about a film called Wrath of God. I haven't posted that episode yet, but it was a great time, a good long conversation. Really looking forward to put that one up. But hi, Levi. We're talking about bloody and gory movies. So I just talked about The Sadness from Taiwan. Now we're going to go to Hong Kong to talk about 3 other movies. I'm just going to flash them up in rapid succession. I think 2 of these I've talked about many times, but one I've owned forever. But I think this is the first time maybe I'm bringing it up on the show. So we have The Untold Story, a Herman Yao film from Unearthed Films, which is an extension of MVD Visual. This is based on a true story about a man, a serial killer, who chopped people up and put their body parts into humbao, so steamed pig buns, and served them to the public. Based on a true story. The movie itself, I don't think, is accurate or anything, but the concept is based on a true story. And Ebola syndrome, which
Mm.
is a Vinegar Syndrome title, and this is also a Herman Yao film and also stars Anthony Wong. So Anthony Wong, the king of Category 3, I guess you'd call him. He did a lot of racy films and a lot of ultra violent films in Hong Kong. Category 3 is essentially like an X rating by our standards. But both of these films are extraordinarily violent and cruel. The cruelty is actually what makes them like have the reputation that they have. Like the bloodletting and the gore and stuff is certainly present. There's a lot of violence and a lot of bloodletting, a lot of creative violence on top of that. But just like the meanness, like some of the mean spiritedness of it is why they've been, I think, banned in a few countries. Um, but I also have one more, and that would be Riki-Oh, the story of Riki. And this little gold star here is kind of hard to read, Brad, so I'll just read it. It says, includes the hilarious exploding head scene as featured on Comedy Central's The Daily Show. That's how they advertise this.
Wow. Really? I'm unfamiliar with that exploding head scene.
Yeah, I don't imagine you would be because it was probably from what, like the year 2001 or something, or maybe even the year 2000. Are you familiar with this movie at all, though?
I think you've mentioned it before. It
I
sounds
mean,
familiar.
yeah, it is the kind of thing that comes up. I'm fairly certain Santino probably knows about this one too. This seems like a Santino movie. As far as I
That
know,
tracks.
yeah. I actually poked him about joining us this evening. I hope he does. I like Santino. I haven't talked to that guy in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this this is a Hong Kong production, but I believe it's based on a Japanese manga, and it's about like a crazy ultra cruel prison. And this dude Ricky, who by the way it cannot act worth a shit, but he actually went on to do some pretty cool stuff. This actor, he actually plays like a somewhat prominent role in the first Ip Man film and becomes like a little bit of a recurring character in the sequels. His name is Fan Siu Wong. Uh, he sucks as an actor in this, but clearly he's got the abs. Like he's got the Rambo physique that we were all into in the 80s. Um, but he got better as an actor and a martial artist on top of that. But this movie is ultra violent, but like cartoonishly so. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just like there's guts spraying all over the walls. People get holes punched in them. Eyeballs get ripped out. Uh, there's like dead alive levels of blood that get shed in the final act of the movie, wherein the villain gets put into a giant fan that just is in the center of the room for some reason. Uh, yeah, wonderful display of cartoonish practical effects and just bloodletting. But this is another mean spirited. Actually, all of these movies. I don't know what it is about the Hong Kong magic. Like, there's something about Hong Kong that has this like weird, like vaudevillian irreverence where there's a lot of pratfalls and like faffing about that happens in like the dialogue and stuff. Like it feels farcical. And then all of a sudden, like some of the meanest, wildest shit you'll ever see happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 20 minutes is just people cracking wise and slipping on banana peels and boob jokes. And then something really, really fucked up and cruel happens. And then we're back to banana peels and boobs. It's so weird and so jarring and so culturally foreign, but it is a recurring pattern. So it's like foreign cinema. But yeah, that was our trip to China.
Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like how you said kind of with Ebola syndrome and Untold Story, like the cruelty, like the cruelness and the meanness is kind of what it gets it banned even more so than the gore.
Mhm.
Which I, not that anything really affects me, but I can see how that would be a little more, and I haven't seen those films, so I can't really comment on them. But like I can see where that would cause more of a visceral reaction with people, because like again, I haven't seen the Riki-Oh, the Ricky Lake story, but or whatever it's called, but something like that where it's very goofy. I
Yeah.
find like there are a lot of gory movies that are very goofy and they're gory, and they never really affect me on a like disturbed like feeling grossed out by it. But something cruel, not again. I can watch anything. I can handle anything. But you know what I mean. Other people might not be able to take it so easily.
Yeah, I'm kinda in the same boat. As far as I've observed, having kids changes. like from what I've noticed with like my friends and stuff, like their enthusiasm for this tone kind of dissipates like when they have little ones and stuff to consider. I'm like you though. Like none of this stuff actually affects me. I put a barrier between myself and a work of fiction. And also just the effects interest me. Like I'm just intrigued by how things are pulled off. But it is worth saying that Untold Story and in particular Ebola Syndrome both do have some really fucked up stuff in them. Like for real, for real. Like the end of Ebola Syndrome is really wild. But the big thing is that there's sexual violence in both of them, which kind of takes some of the fun out of it. Where it's like it's easy to laugh at like blood and guts and stuff, and then stuff like that happens. Like, well, now I'm not having fun. Like
Right.
it's like you kind
Yeah.
of shat in my Cheerios a little bit. But for what it's worth, I think they're both actually pretty good movies. Case in point, Herman Yao, kind of similar to the career trajectory of Takashi Miike in Japan. He started out doing these category 3, like these X-rated like gore films, and he now does action blockbusters, like propaganda pieces for the Chinese government. So like clearly he's a talented director that is getting to handle some of the biggest productions that country produces.
Yeah.
So you can see the talent even when he's working in the world of, smut and garbage. And
I mean,
also Anthony Wong is a tremendous actor on top of that.
when you see a Herman Yao movie, you say, "Hey, man, wow," because he is a talented guy.
Wow, I didn't know Gene Shalit was in the chat. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I have Ebola Syndrome. Haven't watched it yet, but I've been meaning to. That's definitely one I've had for a while. And then I think I revealed to you. I don't know if it was like the last couple times we did this or when it was you were on my show or something.
Hmm.
But how I've got the Untold Story 2, the
Yeah.
unconnected sequel.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't
Yeah.
even know about that one. That
Yeah.
funny that Levi popped in. We were talking about the Beastmaster films, the Barbarian films, Brad. Are you familiar with Beastmaster?
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I know Beastmaster.
Yeah. Do you have the Vincent Blu-ray or
Yeah, I've got
4K?
the 4K. I don't have the super deluxe packaging, but I do have just the 4K with the slipcover.
Yeah, me too. I think I have the same edition. Anyway, we're for some reason before we were talking about this other movie that has nothing to do with it. We were talking about barbarian cinema of the 80s. And we got to talking about the dignity of Beastmaster. And yeah, he told me that there's apparently a third Beastmaster that I was not aware of that. In fact,
I was not aware of that.
thank you, Wayne Campbell, for saying the quote properly. But yeah, you never know. These sequels, they just. By the way, speaking of sequels, I was talking at my friend. I do this a lot, Brad. Nobody shares my interest, Brad, so everybody has to just sit the fuck down and listen. You're gonna listen
like
to
it.
every goddamn word I have to say about all this shit you don't care about. That's what a conversation is like with me in person, Brad. Look forward to that.
Hey, I love it. I love it.
Nothing like this podcast whatsoever. I was talking at my friend Sean Parker about Scott Adkins, as you do, and he has 6 films currently upcoming at the moment. 6 films, Brad, and about 3 of them look interesting. Anyway, one of them is a sequel to Skyline. You remember Skyline, Brad?
Okay, you're probably not gonna know.
It's not the
what
Nissan car; it's a movie.
is that the one that has? You're not gonna know what I'm talking about here, but it has the guy that played Angel Batista on Dexter was the villain, or he was a bad guy in that movie.
Wow, that's a deep cut. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Well, point is, Skyline was a alien invasion film that
Yes,
I believe came out.
David Zayas. David Zayas.
Wow, deep cut. Good job, Brad. Holy shit. We need to give you a share screen option to show David Zayas on screen.
Here, I'll pull it up here.
Oh, you got it?
Hang on.
You can do that?
I think so, right? Maybe not.
Let's find out. Let's test
share
out the
screen. Yeah, here we
capabilities.
go.
Is it going to happen?
David Zayas. Here's his Wikipedia page. There he is.
There he is. Oh yeah, that's the bad guy from the first Expendables. Wow. Super deep pull. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dexter Newport. He's all in on the Dexter
the
universe,
Dexter.
apparently.
He's known for Dexter and Skyline. That's what we know him for.
Skyline. Quite a career, this man. Yeah, anyway, Skyline was a alien invasion theatrically released film that I believe came out the same year as Battle LA, I think. Battle Los Angeles. And nobody saw it. Like nobody saw Skyline, but they've made like 3 direct-to-video sequels for it. One of which features Iko Uwais from the Raid films, several of which feature Frank Grillo, to nobody's surprise, and this latest one will feature Scott Adkins. So these sequels, man, these direct-to-video sequels, it's an amazing ecosystem of treasures that we often never hear of, but when you find them, it's kind of fun, actually. I love it. So, The Untold Story 2 and Skyline, I think it's Warpath. It's like Warpath or something.
We should do a Skyline, kind of retrospective.
Oh my god,
series.
the Skyline Masterclass.
Yeah, Skyline Masterclass.
It would get views from the people who made them.
Yeah.
It'd be like when you reviewed Becky and the directors
honestly,
found you.
I'm intrigued.
Did you see Becky too?
Still waiting on that one. Still haven't gotten around to that one.
I think Sean William Scott's the bad guy in that one.
That's right. Yeah.
Stifler or Goon.
Doesn't have as much of a draw to me as Kevin James as the villain.
Kevin James is a skinhead? Yes. I want this. Like, I need this. I love seeing not action guys do action, especially when, as Joe Rogan will tell you, Kevin James is a kung fu expert.
Yeah?
Yeah, apparently. Like, for real. It's like Ed O'Neill. Apparently, he's a jujitsu expert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Never would have guessed based on that physique and that hairline, but you know, don't fuck with Ed O'Neill. Anyway, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. So, hey, Brad, what's your next blood and guts pick?
Well, why don't you tell me? We've had numbers 1, which was The Sadness, and 13, which was Scanner Cop, pulled off. Give me another number, Trevor. I'm letting you run the show. I'm gamifying this.
Pressure. 17.
17. How many did I say there were?
18.
Okay, that'll be easier to go backwards. 17.
I'm vamping, I assure you.
Now, these films, I think I've only seen each of these once, maybe. I'll check a letterbox and confirm. But I have the remake and the sequel to the remake of The Hills Have Eyes.
Wow.
Directed by Alexandre Aja. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I'm a huge fan of these here, but they are extremely gory and cruel. I'm not the biggest fan of the original Hills Have Eyes either. But I do know the remake did have a pretty I don't know how much of a success it was at the box office or anything, but I remember when it came out, there was a lot of buzz around it, and I feel like it did kind of, in some ways catapult Alexandre Aja's career to the stratosphere that he's in today. Yeah, I don't know. I like these sort of, Hills Have Eyes, Wrong Turn, family on vacation or something, breaking down in the desert, in the woods, and getting hunted and killed by, backwoods cannibals or mutant cannibals or any sort of cannibals. Aja in general, he is kind of a gore guy. I think this is the only one I grabbed off my shelf, but he's got some stuff. And one movie of his that I think has a couple gory moments. I've never seen it. I've heard it's bad, but I'm curious because I want to check it off the Aja bucket list. Is Mirrors?
That was
Kiefer
him, huh?
Sutherland. Yeah, I've never seen Mirrors. But I think there's like a scene where a lady rips her head open or something that was kind of hinted at in the trailer.
No,
Um,
I got my wires crossed for a second. So mirrors, I was thinking of Oculus. Sorry,
yes,
which I
not
think
that one.
involves a mirror.
Yes, Mirrors. It could be a remake. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know, but um, yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, and I really don't know much about it, but
Hmm.
um, I'm not the biggest Aja fan, but he's a guy where I kind of always want to see what he does. I do like his Piranha. I love Crawl.
Crawl's great.
High Tension. I don't hate, but I do feel like it's kind of a mess. I think it's a cool mess, but you know, the plot and where things go, I think I mean, Roger Ebert's review. Do you know Roger Ebert's review of
I
High
don't.
Tension?
I've seen it, but no, I don't know
He says
Raj's thoughts.
something that's so I love. It's one of my favorite Ebertisms. I can't remember it exactly, but he says something like, "This movie has a plot hole so big that not only could you drive a truck through it, a character actually does drive a truck right through it." I'm like, "Guys, that's pretty good. That's pretty good."
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but Hills Have Eyes, it's pretty solid. I'd be curious to revisit this. I haven't watched it in quite a while.
Yeah, he's one of those names that I get mixed up because he's high tension or haute tension is part of that French like new not new wave, but I forget the name of the movement. It was a kind of a trend in French cinema in the early 2000s that was these ultra gory, ultra explicit horror films that were coming out of France. Do you remember the name of it? Like the genre?
Yeah, it's like the French extremity movement, or
Yes, you got it. Yeah.
was that
French
it, or was there a
extremity.
better
Yeah.
name?
No,
Okay.
that's how I know it. But it was like French extremity or French extreme cinema.
Mm,
So I associate him with that, but as you said, he's like a legitimately talented filmmaker. He has a good visual sense and also just a good sense of pacing and tension. Crawl is a very good piece of entertainment. Like just it's a good thriller. It's a good isolation thriller with, some fun monsters involved, like in the form of these alligators. I've actually been trying to get my fiance to watch that one just because I think it's pretty tight. Like it's pretty well
mhm.
constructed. And we had a lot of those earlier, like in the mid 2000s and stuff. But I get my wires crossed when it comes to like remembering the whole of his filmography because I know High Tension, I know Crawl, and then there's a lot of other stuff that gets mixed up. Like Inside was not him, I don't believe, but it was part of the French extremity movement.
Yep. Yeah, no,
And I
he didn't do he did, Horns with Daniel Radcliffe, haven't seen that one.
don't nobody remember horns.
Nope. Mirrors, like I mentioned, he did a Netflix movie called Oxygen. And then I think his last movie, which I've been meaning to watch with Halle Berry, Never Let Go, which
Oh, I saw a trailer for that.
I think
Yeah,
it's a monster movie, isn't it? Like, it's something with monsters?
either that or they're pulling a was it comes at night?
Oh,
Joel Edgerton? They're doing
yeah.
something like that perhaps? Like,
So,
his man was the true monster all along or something.
mhm.
Or
Yeah.
abuse is a form of horror. Like, that
Yep.
that seems to be the like, one of the new things that we're currently in the midst of, honestly.
Yeah, and with this movie, specifically, like, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't remember really any many gore moments.
Mm,
But it does kind of bring up the thing that I wanted to mention. Couple movies I was looking at here, on my shelf, and kind of made me step back and say, "Oh, is it as gory as, um, I have it in my mind?" You know, the classic thing of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, it's actually not gory, but
yeah,
it seems like it's gory, you know, because of
yeah.
how gnarly it is and just the grime and the vibe. Um, one that I didn't grab off my shelf because I can't remember how gory the end actually is. In my mind, it's gory, but I can't remember. Audition. I can't remember how gory Audition actually is.
It's
Um,
it's pretty explicit.
Pretty explicit. Okay.
Yeah, it is largely just isolated to that single scene.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you see stuff.
Okay. That's a good one.
That's a good movie.
Count that as one of my picks.
Speaking of Takashi Miike, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
one of his early like big hits, like especially internationally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've not seen any version of The Hills Have Eyes actually.
Really?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of a shame on me kind of moment as a movie buff. But that was from that 2000s era when we were getting a lot of those remakes, and I think I had a friend who was up on those remakes of The Hills Have Eyes. I seem to remember him being like, "Yeah, these had something." Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was just bloodletting, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that that era of remakes started pretty strong. Like, I think The Hills Have Eyes was maybe one of the earlier ones.
Yeah,
Um,
Texas
Texas
Chainsaw
Chainsaw, that was
was probably the first.
yeah, that Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, that was the big one.
Mhm. But I mean, all those are pretty
Last House on
decent.
the Left was
It was a little later, I want to say
yeah, I think that was later and
2009,
also just
maybe.
not that great. It does have
I never saw that one.
one really good kill though, where that kid gets
Mhm.
his hand stuck in the disposal.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Hills Have Eyes, from what I remember, pretty gnarly. So check it out.
Check it out. Loose recommend, but it's a recommend.
Mhm.
Okay, so talked about some horror stuff. You're probably going to continue to talk about horror stuff.
Oh, not to cut you off. I just one last thing I gotta say.
Yeah.
Your boy's in this, Ted Levine. So just to sell you on it a little more, he plays the dad in this. So
Was she a great big fat person?
like our car is broken down, and
Car's broken down, and you're a great big
So,
fat person.
just in case you needed any more of selling on it.
Or of course the best quote from Michael Mann's Heat: "Bang bang 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 bang." That is the thing that he says in that movie. By the way,
That's great. That's great.
It's when they're examining the crime scene from the opening of the movie. Better movie probably. Ted Levine popping up in is it Jurassic World whatever the fuck? Jurassic World 2?
I want to say Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah,
Fallen
wow.
Kingdom.
God, that is a shit ass title. Seriously, that is a shit ass title.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, him popping up in that was like why are you here? Like, how much did they pay you? Yeah, I liked it. So you were talking about horror films. So I have Brad. Help me out here. I've got 4 horror movies. Well, no, 3 horror movies. And I also have 3 sci-fi horror movies. Should I do them all in one go, or do you want me to break them up?
Why don't you break them up? I feel like maybe break those up.
Okay. We're going we're going horror because why not? So I got 3 picks here, 2 editions of one of these. Save that for last. Shit, I'm dropping stuff.
Oh, boy.
Hopefully you didn't hear that. So I have here from, I believe, another Frenchman. Connections, Revolutions. Didn't plan on that, but I know how to run a show. I have here a video game adaptation, Silent Hill, on DVD. This is directed by Christoph Gans, who I believe was coming off of Brotherhood of the Wolf, which I don't know if you remember that, Brad, but that movie was like they were trying to do a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with that shit. And then you watch the movie and you're like, why? Like, why did you think this would put asses in seats? I know Mark Dacascos is a handsome man who's inexplicably doing kung fu as a Native American in a period film. And I know the costumes are cool, but this is a weird ass movie. But yeah, Brotherhood of the Wolf, they were trying to like make a thing out of it. I believe this was what came after. I could be wrong on the order of things, but this is, of course, based on the Konami video game series, which, by the way, Brad, new game in the series, Silent Hill F, came out very short, like a month ago, maybe. Any interest?
Yeah, I've only sat down and played a little bit of like one Silent Hill game. But I would like to get into it. I just never really have. Definitely in my gaming, I'm more of a Resident Evil guy, but I'd like to get into Silent Hill. And I not maybe you were gonna get into this, I don't know, but I just looked. I had no idea that I knew they were coming out with a new one, a new Silent Hill movie. I had no idea your boy Christoph Gans was directing it. He's back.
I know, and it's the images look horrendous. Because when it comes to Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 2 is it was remade as a game like within the past 2 years, I think.
Mhm.
Um that's the one that people love. That's the game that people love and think of most often when they think of Silent Hill, the
Mhm.
franchise. Kind of similar to Resident Evil, where it's like most people don't think of the first Resident Evil game. They think of Resident Evil 2 or 4. Like
Yeah.
those are the beloved ones.
Mhm.
It's like the Star Trek rule. It's the even numbered ones. Like those odd number ones, if you're not a hardcore, just we don't need that. It's like
Mhm.
um but yeah, Silent Hill 2 I think they're intentionally basing that second this it's not the second movie, but I think it's the third because there was another Silent Hill movie that fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
It was
Like
Revelations
yeah,
3D.
mm, it's no bueno. Para nada. But this new one I think is explicitly based on Silent Hill 2 the game. So in terms of expectations, it's like don't do that to yourself, man. Like there's news of, a Metal Gear movie starring Oscar Isaac that's like if you're smart, you might want to base that off like the first game, like even before Metal Gear Solid or something, just because that way there's no expectations. It's like nobody fucking cares about that game. Like as much as they
Mhm.
would like to pretend they do,
Yeah.
people like Metal Gear Solid. People remember Metal Gear Solid. So if you explicitly reference that, directly compare yourself to that, you're going to catch the ire of the neckbeards, and you don't want that. They will rip you a new asshole on Reddit. You don't want
Yeah.
none of that. You don't want that smoke.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, though, this movie, I think is for its time. Uh, this was like one of those early. It was during that early wave of video game movies. We're currently in the midst of a new wave of video game movies that it is it is emerging. Like it is going to be the new big thing in cinema. Um, More so than book adaptations and TV adaptations and stuff. Like video game adaptations as cinema is the future, honestly. This is a very good adaptation aesthetically. In terms of story, the Silent Hill games have always been kind of nebulous anyway. They are very much vibes experiences anyway. So, from a lights with sound standpoint, this does the job. Really, the only reason this is being held up right now as an example of a blood and guts film is two scenes. There is one scene in the middle of the movie wherein a woman gets her skin torn off,
Mhm.
just like a band-aid, right off, to quote Jerry Seinfeld. And
Yes.
the icing on the cake, the chef's kiss, is it's done by a character named Pyramid Head, by the way. He takes the skin and then he throws it against the door because the other surviving characters run away from him, and just like in this act of like malice, he's just like "fuck you," like have this skin. I don't even want it.
Yeah.
And I just remember in the theater being like, "Whoa, that was gnarly," especially because it just happens like a band aid right off, and
Mhm.
it doesn't help too that there's a bit of man talking about a lot of cruel shit today. There's like a touch of cruelty just prior to the violence where it's a woman who's kind of shitty actually. She sucks. Like she's a really shitty character, so I guess they try to like make it okay that she dies. But she gets stripped naked just before she gets her skin ripped off. So she gets disrobed and then her skin gets ripped off. So it's like this like humiliating and terrifying couple of seconds for that character just before she gets killed, which is the worst, you know. And then the finale of this one is just 5 minutes of people getting killed with razor wire, um, in very creative and gnarly ways. Most of the movie isn't a gore fest, though. It's just like those 2 moments that's like, holy shit, like that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
So we
I
got
need to
that one.
rewatch that. It's been a while.
It looks great. It sounds great. A lot of the music is taken directly from the game. Starship Men, by the way, is it him?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
It's him. He doth arrived. Silent Hill has the best kill. Yeah, we were just talking about the flesh rip. Thank you for joining us, Starship Men. This one goes without saying. This one should have been the first movie either of us talked about. Dead Alive. Peter Jackson's Dead Alive. This is on DVD because this movie is very hard to come by in any format beyond DVD.
Is the DVD even easy to get?
No. This is it's not like a rare DVD, but you will end up paying more than $5 for it. I'll tell you that much.
Because I saw it here at the not here, but I saw it at my local library, and I said, "Oh," I was, "Oh."
That's what happened to me actually. In
So you stole it?
No, fuck. No, you fuck. No, there's a neighborhood called Fremont in the Seattle area, that has a weekly, like farmers market. And it's just this big long stretch where there's vendors on either side, but then there's this like overhang area, this like parking lot that turns into a vintage mall, every Sunday. And they have vintage clothes and knickknacks, anything you would find at a thrift store, except being sold by like person to person as opposed to like by a Value Village or a Savers if you're cool. There was a guy who just had like a few things for sale. Like he didn't like have a whole ass booth. He just had like a stool, and he was like, oh, "I have Dead Alive on DVD." I was like, $20. He's $20. And I was like,
Nice.
okay. So that's
Was that
how I
his
got
price,
mine.
or is that what you offered?
That's why I offered.
You should have tried to get it for 3. See if he knew what he was talking. He probably didn't even know what he had. You were too nice. He didn't know he was sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah, I probably could have gotten a few bucks knocked off. I probably could have said 10 or 5.
Good,
I
no,
should have
good for you.
started
Good for
low.
you though. Good for you though.
I knew what it was worth. Like I
You
knew it.
were so excited. You just like you were blinded by excitement.
Well, also like I said, I go to that Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I make deals there, but you got to be careful how you make those deals because those people, there's a lot of nerds coming through there, and there's a lot of. I watched this guy give this guy the runaround. This neckbeard, this big dude, big sweaty dude, big sweaty smelly beard. Stood in line with him for a long time. He thought I was his friend. We aren't friends. He kept calling me that. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
buddy. He was doing the whole bit where he's like, can I like open it up and can I see the disc? And he's like, I don't know, man. There's a smudge on that disc. Like,
Oh man.
you got the manual? Let me see that manual. Oh, one of these pages has been dog-eared. Can I get a couple bucks off of this here?
Oh jeez. Yeah.
And then I swear the guy gave him a discount just to make him fuck off because he smelled bad.
It's
He
not a
was
bad
wasting his
strategy.
Yeah. This oppressive odor that you carry with you, you can weaponize it.
Smell
get you
bad
deals.
and annoy people to get, and they'll just say, just whatever, just take it, just leave.
You sweaty, annoying fuck, get out of here. Only to be replaced by another sweaty, annoying fuck. A whole ass convention hall filled with them. I pride myself on wearing deodorant on a daily basis, unlike
Good for you. Good for you.
most of the people who attend those conventions. Anyway, this is often cited as I think it prior to the Evil Dead remake, I think it held the record for most fake blood utilized in a production. I think the Evil Dead remake may have beaten it, mostly because of the finale where there's literally like rain pipes, like storm pipes, like piping in blood during the finale of that one. But at the time, this was the movie that had the most blood on screen in a single production. It's a very fun movie, and it's an every trick in the book kind of effects showcase. It's a good indication of the talent at hand that we had with Peter Jackson. And it's a fun movie. It has a good sense of humor, and like I said, the every trick in the book aspect of is actually what makes me value it. Is that there's just so many creative effects in this movie, and they keep the energy level high. Like they never exhaust themselves with gags. Where it's like I hate when you have that experience where you're watching like a roller coaster kind of movie like this, where it keeps ramping itself up, and then it like peters out. Kind of like a John Wick movie or something, where it's like the final action beat is kind of like not quite on the level of what happened in the middle. But this one, I think, kind of keeps it marching upwards for the most part.
It's a pretty gradual, like, from what I remember, the buildup is pretty much consistently up and up and up and up. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but you got the stuff like with the old ladies and like, isn't it like their ears are falling in their
Yeah,
tea and
the soup and stuff.
yeah, you got the little stuff with that, and then by the end, it's so insane with the kills and the gore. So I think they do a really good job pacing out the kills and the gore, and I think it's a good rising action for sure.
Yeah, that's my takeaway. And,
Hmm.
I don't have that much to say about being as it comes if this is the new Goon, apparently, it comes up on every discussion, but where would I be if I wasn't throwing bone sickness up on the
Mm.
screen from Morbid Vision Films on DVD, and, this is from director Brian Paulin and his best buddy in the whole world, Rich George, and I also have, of course, the Saturn's Core Through Vinegar Syndrome uh,
Mhm.
Blu-ray of this, which I'm gonna put Brad on the screen now because I always have to kiss the ring. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Brad is responsible for me getting this ultra limited Blu-ray of this not very good movie. But we have Levi and I, your captain speaking, and I uh, have like a 3-hour discussion of this available on YouTube if you'd care to check it out. We had a grand old time talking about this. This is kind of an important movie to me and my one of my best friends. His name is Orion. He's been on the show, funny enough, to review Silent Hill with us.
Mm.
I think it's the one time he was on the show. But yeah, bone sickness on Blu-ray on anything beyond DVD is not something I thought I'd ever see, and this just so happened to have debuted on on this format like weeks after we posted that review of it. So I don't know what gods of physical media gave us that gift, but thank you to them and thank you to Brad for tipping me off because the shit sold out fast.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had the inside scoop. That's why you chose that time to release your
No,
review.
no, you did
Yeah.
me a huge favor.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
thank you for that. Still haven't cracked it open, by the way. I pulled a U. It's just collecting dust.
It happens. It happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a little buffer room to before you rewatch Bone Sickness.
Bone sickness. You do. You actually there's a cooling off period. It's like
Mhm.
you are not prepared. Your asshole is not prepared for further bone sickness.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my trio of horror flicks. Hey Brad, ball is to you again, sir. Am I picking another number?
Give me another number. What 1, 13, and 17 are gone.
Santino comments, by the way. Hell yeah, what a piece of trash that I loved.
Yes. That was one
Um,
of the ones you prescribed him, right? You
Yeah,
or
that's
yeah.
right. I forgot
Yeah.
it. Forgot. Yeah, that's right. Santino. If you're not aware, Santino is a regular, like he's on regular rotation on the Cinema Speak podcast. That would be
Mhm.
Brad's podcast. Better show.
No. But thank you. But no.
Santino's on regular rotation there whenever we need comic book movies reviewed in particular. I'd love to talk comic books with you sometime, Santino. Let's make that happen. Um, but Santino did this thing where he was
Not on my show. That'll be a 5-hour episode. Not on my show.
yeah, you're moderating, Brad. No, Brad's gonna go take a shit. A 3-hour
I'll just
shit.
leave the recording running and just come back in 6 hours.
You done? Are you done? Yeah, that's exactly what that'll be. I still want to do that though. I'm serious.
No, we should. That would be fun.
No,
That would be
I
fun.
really want to do that. I want to do a comic book movie review with Santino,
Mhm.
see if I have the stamina for it. Jesus Christ. Nobody has he's the Iron Man. Santino's
Mhm.
the Iron Man.
Mhm.
Um Santino did this thing for the Cinema Speak podcast, or just because he's the Iron Man, and he's just like showing it off, just showing off his otherworldly stamina. He like polled Brad's friends and podcasting friends and stuff, which includes me, um, and said like, "Yo, give me some shit to watch." I don't know exactly for what purpose, other than he just needs to fill every moment of his existence with cinema and One Piece. Uh, by the way, since comments, I clear my Saturday on podcast. Saturday is podcasting day or watching stuff day. It doesn't matter. Either way, we're bathing in cinema. And yeah, I gave him bone sickness as I was like, "You're gonna watch Bone Sickness. You're asking me what to watch. I'm making you watch Bone Sickness."
What were the other two? Do you remember? I can't remember what they were.
Maybe Santino can jump in, but I
I'm
know
sure he
The City
knows.
of Violence was one.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And Bone Sickness, obviously, and then I think there was one more, but I can't remember.
Goon, right? It was Goon.
No, it wasn't Goon. It should have been Goon. He's probably already seen Goon. It was probably Zayram. I think it was Zayram.
Okay.
It's a Keita Amemiya movie, which I would recommend to you too, Brad. It's a fun one, especially if you just like effects. Like, anyway, so I got to pick a number for you.
Yes. Yes.
Let's go with a strong 5.
5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is a bit of a twofer, and it's another one. I mean, kind of a bad pick, Trevor. He could have picked a better number, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, it's my fault. Gotcha.
No, just I feel like this franchise has been discussed to death, but I'll pull off both that I have here. I've got 2 Final Destination films. Funny enough, I have. So what happened with this was I wanted to buy Final Destination 5, and I was in a store and I saw the Final Destination, and I was like, "Oh, it's the last Final Destination," because this was before the new one came out. I was like, "Oh, it's the last Final Destination movie. This is number 5." And then I forgot that this was the name of 4, and Final Destination 5 is just Final Destination 5. So I own my least favorite really the only bad one. And then I ended up buying the 5th one. I have all of them on DVD other than the new one. But for whatever reason, these are the only 2 I have on Blu-ray. And I do love the franchise. Big fan of the franchise. Mostly consistent other than 4. They're all pretty good. I think 2 is probably still my favorite, but I haven't rewatched them all in a while. And yeah, I love the creative kills. They get a little, especially for like the kills, and some of the CG gets a little too goofy at times, but I think they do rein it back in with number 5. I love the balance beam kill. I think that's one of the franchise's best. And yeah, just fun, gory goodness. I thought the new one was pretty good. Maybe it was a little overhyped for me. I thought that I liked the characters and stuff, and I liked the new spin they put on it, but I also do think that it was a little too long, little too few kills. Like we could have had maybe a little more, and every single one of the movies, for the most part, is guilty of this, but a lot of deaths of people standing there and something like landing on them from behind. It's like
Yeah.
they pull that trick quite often.
Yeah, none better than 2 though.
No, yeah. Two is good. Two nails it. Yeah. So yeah,
Fuck that kid.
yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that the kid from X-Men 2 who like tattled on Iceman or whatever?
It might be, is it?
I think that was the kid from X2 who tattled on Iceman. Fuck that kid.
Right. You're probably right. Yeah.
Ronnie or whatever. Probably had one of
yeah.
those dick names like Ronnie or something.
Yeah, he had the frosted tips and stuff. It was
As
he
was
had
the
that
style
vibe.
at the time.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of the franchise. And yeah, I hope they keep pumping them out. It's like I think I said when I talked about the new one, crazy that there was such a big gap between them, because it's kind of a just easy formula that you can kind of, for the most part, it is like a slasher movie essentially, and for the most part, you can just keep redoing the same thing with just a somewhat new spin on it, and you're good to go. A new opening disaster sequence. That's really, for the most part, that's the extent of what you need to come up with creatively. Just what can you do in that opening sequence, and then from then on out, just kind of play it out how it always does. And if the kills are creative and fun, you're gonna have a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's kind of quietly one of the most consistent and best mainstream horror franchises out there.
Hmm.
Like entertainment based horror franchises.
Hmm.
It's certainly one of my very favorites, honestly, because I don't. Again, with the exception of the Final Destination, that's the 3D one, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, with the exception of that one, hasn't missed. Like
No.
they all have merits. Like they're all pretty solidly constructed. And there's still like a vitality to them. There's an enthusiasm that I think that might be part of why why you don't see them all the time is that it does require actual talent and skill to do them. It's not like a
Hmm.
early Friday the 13th movie where it's just like crank it out, you know? Even the effects in those early ones didn't really have to be anything. I mean, you did have like Tom Savini involved in some of those early ones, but it didn't have to be good, is what I'm saying, in order for the formula to work. Final Destination, there has to be legitimate cleverness,
Hmm.
which requires skillful writing and skillful prep and storyboarding. Like you do actually have to have good minds working on these things in order for it to work at all. So all these kills that we're talking about, it's the Rube Goldberg effect that makes them so fun. Like that's why I enjoyed this latest one quite a lot. Is that they got that aspect of it really well, like all the swerves and the setups. And I think that they like sounds like maybe you and I disagree slightly. That I think maybe I enjoyed it a little bit more than you did.
Hmm.
I
I think
like
so.
the
Yeah.
twist that they had a mostly likable cast and that like it's based around a family. So it's a little bit of an inversion of like a early Friday the 13th kind of thing where it's like those are just warm bodies. Like no there's no characters in Friday the 13th. It's like Friday the 13th part 2. It's like who's a character in that one? Well, the one guy's in a wheelchair. Like that's not a personality, you fuck. That's a disability.
Yeah.
um, whereas like the latest Final Destination, it's like no, these are pretty like interesting like layered characters with like a little bit of intrigue and drama in their lives. They have like dynamics that bounce off of each other. So when it comes time for any one of them to die, you feel enough that like it's not entirely just like a ha ha fat guy fall down or whatever. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, that guy that kind of made me laugh a lot in the movie's about to get it.
Hmm.
Um yeah, I really like the Final Destination movies and the balance beam you said is in 5, right?
Yes. Yep.
That is like one of it's often cited as like one of the best kills in the entire franchise. That's so I guess you'd call that the signature kill of that, if not maybe the whole fucking thing, except for
Yeah.
those early disaster sequences, in particular the freeway in the second one is
If you
pretty
had to,
spectacular.
if you had to pick out a kill that wasn't one of the early disasters, that's your like top tier. Do you have one
Yeah.
that you jumps to mind right away, or?
I mean, from to that fuck that kid, like that is satisfying on multiple
Mhm,
levels.
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
For sure that one. And this latest one, it actually wasn't even the kill so much. It was like just some of the setups were I just really enjoyed the setups,
Mhm.
even if they didn't result in a kill. And that
Yep.
that is a difference, is that there's I think I think the swerves are stretched longer in the latest one. Which results in a smaller body count because we have a movie to make.
Mhm. One of my favorites is in number 2, with the airbag going off and, the pipe that is through the like that I
That's a
see,
good one.
I love that because I kinda like the ones that pop up out of nowhere, like, where, they play with that format where they have the long extended setup, and then every once in a while, they'll have one that just happens super quick, and, I like that one a lot.
I mean, that's what a good popcorn horror movie should do. is like make you exhale and then oh and then laugh.
Yeah.
Like you're scared for just a moment and then you laugh about it. That the fact that you got scared by that.
Mhm.
That stuff's great. But I know we both agree it's probably the worst of the whole franchise, but is there a signature kill in the Final Destination?
I mean, probably the most signature kill would be the guy getting his guts sucked out of the pool, like sucked out by the pool. You know, do you remember that?
Yeah. There's a Chuck Palahniuk story that
Mhm.
probably inspired that.
Yeah.
It made the rounds on the early days of the internet as like, "You wanna read something gross? This guy who wrote Fight Club wrote this story about a kid that gets his guts ripped out his asshole
Yeah.
because the thing at the pool."
Yeah. Not really a great kill, but that's probably the main signature kill of that movie if I had to
It's
pick one, I
visceral,
guess. Yeah.
it's you feel things when you're
Mhm.
watching that even if,
Yeah.
it's not well done.
Yeah. Yeah. But
What about, Champ Kind getting oil on his head or whatever?
is that in
Is
4? Is that in 4?
I
Oil on his
if
head.
I so it's there's a bridge disaster is
Okay. Now I didn't know okay, now I know he mean by champ kind. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, the from Anchorman.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
was
remember
like,
the
who
actor's name.
who the hell is that?
From The
Um,
Daily Show or whatever.
I remember him in that movie, but I don't remember his kill.
I think he's hanging off the bridge, and I think, like, tar falls on his head or something.
Okay, in
Like,
the
it
disaster.
dribbles
Yeah,
onto his
yeah.
head or
Okay.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, Santino confirms short story Guts. That is the Chuck Palahniuk story that I was referencing just now. Thank you for giving the title. I actually somehow forgot. But yeah, Final Destination. I I really enjoyed that latest one. Like it worked for me. I didn't expect it to. I was like, they still got it. Keep
Yeah.
making them.
Yeah.
I'll keep watching them.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really sad that Tony Todd's gone. That scene was sad. Like, it's hard to it's hard to watch a guy that's like, oh yeah, that's a very sick man.
Mhm.
But it's cool that they included that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but anyway, okay. I'll give you a choice again, Brad. But I guess that's the format here. So we can talk about anime, which I know is what you're going to go for. We can talk about war movies. We can talk about Japanese cinema, Korean cinema, and we can also talk about sci-fi horror. Spin that wheel.
Well, let's just keep it switched up and interesting. Let's do war movies.
War movies. Okay. So this is going to be oh man, I can't believe I don't have that on the soundboard. I need to get Geese Howard from Fatal Fury saying predictable, which is Japanese for predictable. Also pathetic and too easy, which is Japanese for too easy. So um, I have here 3 war films, one of which is a paramilitary action film, not an official military action film, but whatever. So it comes in a hideous box. Like this is not a good package. Like it doesn't make me happy to have this on my shelf. It doesn't look good. Um,
This is not my kind of guy.
to say the least. So I have here Rambo, the
Mm.
complete collector set, which is no longer complete because there is in fact a 5th Rambo film, and this only encompasses the first 4. This is, of course, the First Blood franchise of films. Levi, of course, would know that it's based on a novel, which differs quite a lot from the
I
film.
also pulled off Rambo,
Yeah,
the fourth one.
yeah, of course, that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Okay.
The other ones are fairly typical '80s violence. Like you got your squibs, you got occasional people getting hit by exploding arrows and exploding into flesh bombs or whatever, like you do. But then you get to Rambo 4 and Jesus fucking Christ, the intensity, the graphic, explicit nature of the violence ratchets right the fuck up, and it turns into something else entirely. Because most people would think of the last 7 minutes of this movie as being what I'm holding this up for is John Rambo on a 50 cal machine gun going dum, 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 and turning people into red mist. Uh, that's spectacular. We like that. Also, him disemboweling the villain at the very end in a very, very poor CGI effect. That's pretty gnarly as well. In addition to that 7-minute finale of the movie or whatever, which just has all manner of delimbings and body explosions and whatnot. There's also the village attack that I don't know how clearly you remember that, Brad, but it happens. It's like kind of it's the catalyst to the plot. It happens maybe a half an hour into it. Um, it's intense. Like the way it's like savagely cut, like edited, where there's all these flashes of things where you're like, I saw that. Like that happened. Like
Mhm.
the movies we're just moving on. It's like that was a baby on a bayonet. It's like that was a baby being thrown in a hayfire. And that was some assault happening there. It's like all these flashes of just like absolutely cruel, heinous violence.
Yeah. It's pretty insane how hardcore they go in that movie.
I know. I I mean it is a popcorn entertainment film, but it is worth noting that there was like a loose attempt at a little bit of like spreading awareness and political messaging in the making of this film. Apparently the villain of the film was like actually a Myanmarian or Burmese refugee of sorts. And like he was actually afraid to return to his home country after having been in this movie. Um, so like it's like a little known thing that there were these atrocities happening in that region of the world. So it's like just a hint of attempting to spread awareness, but mostly just like hate to say it, but like gore porn, but very very effective and visceral gore porn because Rambo 4 isn't like a pedal to the metal action like slam bang action thriller all the way through. It's kind of a grim, serious movie, pretty decent movie actually. It's actually one of Stallone's better movies that he directed in his later years. Um, but yeah, like most of the hardcore bloodletting and violence is relegated to like 2 or 3 major scenes. I
Mhm.
mean, for fuck's sake, the movie opens with men walking in a minefield. Like, that's the first thing that
Yeah.
happens in the fucking movie. And then, of course, no brainer. I don't even really need to talk about it too much, but this is an annual watch for me. Memorial Day weekend. Uh, Steven Spielberg goes Saving Private Ryan. The Omaha Beach sequence, the first 20 minutes of this one, people didn't handle very well in the theaters. There was a lot of people who were leaving the theater for that part of it, which is a
Mhm.
bit of a shame because, yeah, I get it for sure, but this is a fantastic movie, like all around, honestly. And yeah, this is an annual watch for me. Very, very, very violent, but it's there for a reason. Like it's not just like gratuitous bloodletting for the sake of raw entertainment, but it has that because it's a Spielberg movie and he can't help himself, honestly, when it comes to constructing set pieces and trying to get a rise out of people. Um,
Yeah. That might be, I saw it when I was not super young, maybe a little too young, not too bad, but that might be if I had to think of any movie where the gore affected me, that'd probably be the one. If I could, I can't really think of any others that come to mind.
Off the top of my head, it's hard for me to think of any others. But yeah, of course, the knife sequence at the very least is one that sticks with a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, it's just a raw quality to it that it's just so sad and ugly. Um, and speaking of sad and ugly, I have one more war movie here that's really only here for one moment that I think I've talked about on the podcast before. We Were Soldiers,
Mm.
which of course stars a alleged bad person or confirmed bad person. I don't know where we're at with that, but potentially bad person Mel Gibson. um, this is, of course, about the Vietnam War, but more specifically about the initial American involvement in the Vietnam War, which is personally not a portion of the war that I'm not super familiar with. My dad actually served in the Vietnam War, but that was 67, 68, which is often thought of as like some of the ugliest parts of the war. It's something they call the Tet Offensive. But this was, I think, 1965, and this is like the initial American involvement in the war. There's one moment in this movie that I remember my dad just being like, "Nope," like he noped the fuck out of the living
Yeah.
room. And it's there's an actor named Brian T. That he's been in some stuff. He's in, I think, he might be in the first Fast and Furious. I'm not positive, but he pops up in places. Anyway, he gets hit with napalm, like friendly fire, I think. And there's a part where they're trying to move him, and the flesh of his shins peels off. And my dad he like did like pararescue kind of stuff, so he helped people in helicopters, and he saw napalm wounds and stuff, and he's seen people burnt and stuff. And yeah, he doesn't like seeing people burned. So like Backdraft was like, nope. Like We Were Soldiers was like, nope, in our household. You could handle most things like any form of violence he usually would just scoff at or laugh at, but for some reason, like burn stuff, he's just like, fuck that. So it's just that one grisly makeup effect that I'll always just remember my dad's reaction to that. And by the way, Santino, I think, asked, "Isn't there a new one they're making?" Also, I believe he's referencing Rambo. Um, Sylvester Stallone's a very angry old man these days. Like he seems to be at at odds with like every producer that exists. Like you know about the was it Erwin Winkler situation with the Rocky franchise. He's
Yeah.
fighting him in court about trying to wrest control of the character. There's that Rocky, the making of Rocky movie that's circulating around right now. Brad, have you heard
Oh,
about?
yeah,
Have you
that's
seen this? Have you
right.
heard about
Yeah,
this?
I have heard about it.
Jesus, no, I don't want to see that. I love Rocky, but I don't need to see some narrative film about the making of Rocky. Like fuck that.
The only thing that I would want if it was a making of behind the scenes with Stallone, we need to have an adaptation of the alleged incident. I don't know if it's a confirmed thing, but do you know about this? The alleged incident where he was how should I put this? Stimulated by a I want to say it was a PA, I believe it was
I
consensual.
didn't. This is news to me.
Uh, let me see if I can find some info on this. But
Well,
it was in his trailer, and I believe he had a hot mic on, and
oh,
the
oh God, I don't want to hear what he sounds like in that state.
should I tell you what the iconic phrase that came out of that situation was, or is that too?
By all means, I need to hear it.
I believe the phrase that came out of that alleged incident was, "Cup the balls, stroke the shaft." That was his instructions to.
Don't you mean cup the
Yeah.
balls, stroke the shaft.
Let me just um
I didn't break the law. I am the law.
oh, excuse me, cradle the balls.
Cradle the balls. Stroke the
Here, there's an
shaft.
article from Mel Magazine. Cradle the balls.
Mel
Stroke.
magazine from
Yeah,
his friend Mel Gibson.
yeah, Gibson's own blog. It says the headline says "Cradle the balls, stroke the shaft." The legend of Stallone's horny hot mic.
Oh my
And it says accounts vary as to what Sly allegedly said and when, but as the
god.
rumor mill has grown over the years, so has the impact of his sexy instructions.
Oh my
So,
god.
it's a bit of an urban legend. It's not 100% verified, but either way, if
The
they're gonna do a making of behind the scene, I don't know what movie that was for, but please, that's what we need to do the making of for.
oh no.
Anyway,
So I'm gonna grip the mic now, and like in Rambo 2, and you say, Murdoch, I'm coming for you. Instead, I'll say, cradle the balls, stroke the shaft. Jesus Christ. Thanks, Fred.
yeah,
Yeah,
sorry for that image.
I mean, he's a kind of an odd duck of a man, honestly. Like he's always had a lot of acute angles, but as he's gotten older, I don't know. Seemingly out of sorts. Seems to be picking a lot of fights with a lot of people in Hollywood. Seems to be really desperately clinging to a lot of the things that he has. And this is coming from somebody who kind of loves a lot of this guy's work, like his body of work. But like as time has gone on, I'm starting to lose more and more respect for the guy, which is a little bit unfortunate. As for like projects that I'd like to see like illuminated aside from him telling people to cradle his balls and stroke his shaft, um, I would love to see uh, some of the unmade editions of some of his movies that I think could have actually been good movies but aren't.
Mhm.
Like Cobra. Cobra was intensely cut down for I think length, but especially violence, and it's a nigh incoherent movie as it stands. And as far as I understand, there is no version of it that exists that would be, I guess, what it could have been, which is a shame because it does have some merits. Like it has a pretty decent look to it, um, and it has a fun cast. We got Seattle's finest, Brian Thompson, in there. I don't think he's from Seattle. Actually, I think he's just from Washington. But um, and also Nighthawks, the movie he made with Rutger Hauer. Do you know that one?
And I know the name, but I don't think I've seen it.
On paper, it should be like one of the coolest movies ever. It's Billy D. Williams, Brad. Billy D. Billy D's in it
Okay,
with
yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, uh, rocking a beard, and Rutger Hauer as your European terrorist, as was the style at the time. Apparently, the on paper, the original concept was to give equal screen time to both Rutger Hauer and Sylvester Stallone, so hero and villain both. And it would be,
Mhm.
a cat and mouse action thriller. And Stallone said no. And so as a result, like it's been mangled in editing and such. Apparently he and Rutger Hauer didn't get along and they don't really have much screen time together or anything like that. But it's just like not what it should have been, I guess. And it's a bit of a shame. And over and over and over again, the story with him at that time in his career keeps coming back to him telling the studio to cradle his balls and stroke his shaft. Is he was throwing his weight around, he thought he knew better, and he was using his creative control to make decisions unilaterally that probably made for worse movies, honestly,
Yeah.
which is kind of a shame. It's like getting in your own way. So
Yeah,
that's a
he's
shame.
definitely, guilty of that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've been hearing that Tulsa King show is not half bad, but I just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my war movies. Um, so how you doing on time, Brad? You want to do one more, or are we heading into the speed round?
I mean, I've got enough where I think if we just go to the speed round, I think it'll be pretty meaty if you're good with that.
I think that's sensible. So
Yeah.
let's head into the speed round. So, dear listeners, and hopefully viewers, all four of you. Wow, big numbers tonight. Um,
Nice.
we're gonna do something that we call the speed round, the ironically named speed round because it usually takes like a half an hour. But basically, what we're gonna do here is instead of the back and forth, the show and tell kind of thing that we've been doing here, where we talk at length between picks, we're just gonna throw them all up on the screen and talk about all the runner ups that we haven't talked about yet, all the things that we set aside for tonight's discussion, and we'll probably talk over each other. We'll probably interrupt each other, interject whenever it strikes your fancy. But would you like to go first, Brad, or should I?
Yeah, I can go first since you just did your picks there.
Alrighty. Well, the floor is
Um,
yours. I will try not to abuse the soundboard.
no, you're good. Feel free to abuse away. I'll start off with I have here Mario Bava's A Bay of Blood. Yes. Yes. Which it is it's kind of gory, especially for its time, but the one that it's most known for is the kill where two lovers are engaging in relations and they get stabbed, you know, through them and the bed, both bodies while entwined. And that
Oh,
kill was ripped off for I can't remember which Friday the 13th it was. Um, one
that's
of
the
the
first one.
I don't think it's the first one that does it, is it?
Oh, it might be the second one
I
when
wanna
they're
say it's
when
number
they're banging into the bed. I was thinking of Kevin Bacon with the knife
Yeah,
underneath.
that one is definitely the first one. Yeah, it might be number 2.
I
Yeah,
think
one
it's 2, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So great kill. We have, one movie I love watching this time of year, we have Haunt,
Let's go, bub.
the best film from, the Beck and Woods, Brian Beck and Scott Woods. Very gory kill. It's a pretty gory movie overall, but there's one kill where a guy gets his, like, face peeled off with a hammer, like the back end of a hammer.
Oh,
And,
damn.
yeah, it's a very quick, split second kinda, like, fast thing that happens, cut to that kill, but it's one of those moments makes you go, "Whoa!"
Jesus!
Yeah, exactly. Already kinda mentioned here, but, the Evil Dead franchise,
Oh, I
yeah,
love that car.
all all very gory, definitely a hallmark of the franchise, and I do love the films. Um One franchise that is very much known for its gore, and I did go through last year or 2 years ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, and I rewatched them all and had fun with it. The Saw franchise. This is the only one that I own, Saw X, the newest one.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I don't have any of the other ones, but I do have this one on 4K. And I don't know, I just have a soft spot for this franchise. Like, I know it's not good. I mean, some of them are good, but it's like they get so bad in the middle, but it's almost, like, respectable how much they are committed to their insane plot and just,
They commit to
trying
the
to
bit.
connect all these things. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
committed to the bit. It's
and you
you think
respect that. You, of
I
all people, respect that so much.
I respect that you have this franchise where it was a big enough deal where you're probably getting these people coming in every Halloween that aren't keeping up on the lore of this, and
Lore.
you drop them into this, and, you drop them into Saw 5, they're not gonna have any idea what the hell is going on with the overarching plot, but I kinda respect them for committing to that. Yeah, the new one was pretty good.
What the hell is that?
We have maybe the goriest franchise going today. We have a Terrifier 1 and 2. I know we
Wow.
differ a little bit on this one where I prefer 2 over 3 or Terrifier excuse me, I have 2 and 3 right here.
Okay.
I just think, I prefer even though I agree they're both way too long, this one is way, way too long, but, I think uh I like the Halloween setting and, just a little more memorable to me. I think, I like what it builds up to a little more. Um, I appreciate this one because it is a little bit shorter, so I have respect for it there. They're both good. I can take either one, but, fun franchise for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I got to see the third one in the theater with Kyle. We
yeah.
had a grand old time. It worked for us. By the way, I feel like there's a horror terminology that probably needs to get circulated more that I unfortunately don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I think it's I man, that's something I need to have on the soundboard. Bruce Campbell saying, "I am French," from Spider-Man 3. Uh, the cool people get that one. Grand Guignol.
Mhm.
Uh, it's apparently derived from a form of stage entertainment, where basically it was these gory spectacles. Where it was again, this was apparently in olden days a form of like live performance theater, where it was like a gory spectacle where they'd like pretend to like saw people in half or like delimb people and like throw buckets of blood like they're at a fucking Gallagher show. Confirmed bad person Gallagher, by the way. Except with like fake blood instead of watermelons. I feel like that is the value. That is where the entertainment of say a Terrifier is
Mhm.
derived from. Is the spectacle of the bloodletting and the effects work and stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, those movies work for me.
Yeah.
I It's really hard for me to compare them though because I've only seen all of them exactly once. and the third one I saw in a theater, and I did not do that with the other ones, and that's always going to, theater bump with Kyle, who's doing one of these while he's watching it, and going, "Ooh," whenever something bad happens to somebody, which is a lot. Like, the entertainment value of that is hard to match. Um, that shower kill in that third one, man, fuck.
Mhm.
That is a really, really well conceived and choreographed sequence.
Yeah.
There's some shit in there. But,
Yeah. I
yeah, I
mean,
don't know.
it is kind of a thing where one thing with gore and if people are like, "Oh, gore isn't necessarily scary," and I do think there is a sense, especially with Terrifier, and maybe like to a certain extent, like maybe the Saw franchise early on, where like you kind of you would be feeling the intensity of the anticipation of what am I going to see, what are they going to show me, and there is some sort of like maybe dread isn't the right word, but like like there is like a little suspense, like in a meta sense of like I'm sitting here and what fucked up shit am I going to see on screen, and I kind of like that. That is one thing I remember seeing Terrifier 2 and 3 in theaters. It was like, buckle up and, nothing really affected me like that bad, but for the most
No.
part, they do deliver.
Yeah, they're not, like, affecting movies in that way, but
Mhm,
the creativity is, like, disturbing, like how
mhm,
much thought and preparation goes into achieving these effects and choreographing these sequences, because 'cause
mhm,
they're long sequences. They're as complex as like a major fight sequence in, like, a Hollywood movie or something, and integrating effects and stuff, but, like, Terrifier takes it, like, an extra step where, like, it's not just the anticipation, it's also the layers to it, where it's like it just keeps going, and then
mhm.
it does the Guillermo del Toro thing where you get, like, these odd wounds, where it's like that's when you know you're dealing with a creative genius, is when it's one thing to have, like I said, just rewatched a bunch of the Scream movies. It's one thing to have Anthony Anderson get stabbed cleanly in the center of his forehead. That's not super creative. That's not super gory. It's it's like it's the person puts a knife in somebody's head or stabs someone in the gut or whatever. And like Terrifier though, you get like defensive wounds and stuff where it's like
Yeah.
he didn't get all of that with the chainsaw. It's like he had to come around another 3 or 4 times before he got past the arms or whatever. So you get all these like ugly motions that look unchoreographed, and that's where it starts to get under your skin a little bit where it's like, okay,
Mhm.
now we're in the editing booth and we're integrating like bone saw sounds and stuff, and now we're putting dental sounds in the chainsaw sequence and stuff just to really fuck with people's nerves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, carry on, sir. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're good. I mean, that has to be said. It has to be said. Um, Bone Tomahawk from our boy Mr. Zoller, S. Craig Zoller. I really only remember the one specific kill. I know it's pretty it has other gory moments, but the one person getting ripped down the center.
Yeah, there's a person that gets bisected in that film, but not from the angle that you traditionally have that happen
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
on
I need
film,
to
anyway.
I need to revisit. It's been a while.
It's a good, solid, grimy western. S.
It's
Craig
good.
Zoller is he's I've been saying he's one to watch, but I don't know if like he has trouble getting financing or if he's on a naughty list somewhere. Or I know he's a man of many talents. I think he's a musician and a writer, like a novelist.
Mhm.
It could just be that he's doing other things, but I think Dragged Across Concrete was his last thing.
As far as I know.
Yeah. I know like it seems like he leans more towards like the conservative side of Hollywood, so maybe it's a financing thing or something. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're working with Mel Gibson, you're working with a certain crowd, so it's probably going to get you blacklisted with a certain crowd. But I've seen, I think, all of his films, and they are all too long for sure. Dragged Across Concrete is fucking long. But Bone Tomahawk's very good, and Dragged Across Concrete is also good.
Yeah, something about his movies. I really
Oh, and
dig him. I don't know.
Brawl and Cell Block is at 99.
Yeah.
That one's also got some gore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. His
I
movies
need
tend to
to.
have that rhythm to them where it's like you have to wait 2 hours for it, but then there's these explosions of violence that it feels.
Mhm,
I think part of the appeal is it feels very, vintage. Like, it feels
mhm.
like '70s cinema or something,
Yeah.
like, say, Taxi Driver or something, where it's like it's not an action movie. It's, it's a drama, it's a very well-acted drama and stuff, it's a character study, and then you get that final sequence where it's like, "Whoa!" And because that's not the whole movie, because it comes in out of nowhere kinda like that, it has more impact, like, it has more juice to it, so it's like
Mhm,
Vince Vaughn isn't cracking skulls all the way through Brawl in Cell Block 99. It's not really until, like, the final act, and then when it happens, it's like, "Whoa!"
mhm.
And same with Bone Tomahawk, where it's like, there's violent beats in it for sure, lots of them, but it's not until, like, that final act where it's like, "Whoa! I've never seen that before, and that was gnarly as fuck."
Yeah. I need to do a rewatch of this guy's stuff because he's pretty good. He's
I
pretty good.
I think he's really talented,
Yeah.
and a lot of his stuff seems like it's done on a very, very low budget, but I don't know if it's a financing thing or if he's just doing other stuff, but he just seems to have been stalled.
And say what you will about some of his casting, the Mel Gibson thing, but overall, I think his
Whatever.
casts are pretty interesting. Like
It's Tarantino-esque where it's
yeah,
like
Udo
finding these
Kier and
resources.
Udo Kier and Brawl in Cell Block 99. I mean, Vince Vaughn as the lead in that movie is interesting. Don Johnson,
And,
I'm into it.
what, Matthew Fox, is it?
Matthew Fox is in Bone Tomahawk.
And he's doing a character, like, he's
Mhm.
doing some shit, and then you
Mhm.
have Patrick Wilson in there as just the most ordinary guy in there, and, what's it, is it Richard something or other?
Richard Jenkins.
Richard Jenkins as
Yeah.
Richard Jenkins? Can't not be Richard Jenkins.
I tell you, that's Craig Zoller. He's the man. Lock it in. I'm in. I'm on the Zoller train.
Yeah, no, I've been saying it for a while, like, I do enjoy his films. I think he's a good, talented guy, but I don't know if he pissed some people off or something, but he hadn't done shit in a while.
He might have. He might have. I have The Ruins,
Oh, good one.
which I'm a big. First of all, I love the novel that this is based on.
I
The
almost bought the
novel.
novel when I was in Portland,
Oh,
actually.
it's so good. Have you read it before? Or
No, but I really do enjoy that movie.
it's one of those. It's a book that is just like you can't put down. It's so good, and
Oh,
I
I'll pause you for 1 second. I just read a book by Nick Cutter called The Queen.
oh
You're into, like, body horror kinda stuff? Check it out.
I actually, not to seem like a book nerd, but I actually know who you're talking about, Nick
He
Cutter.
wrote The Troop.
That's the one I've read, yeah, and I thought that was great.
I I still have both of my fingers crossed for a movie adaptation of that.
Yeah,
That
I think it'll
it would
come.
be really hard because it involves children, like young boys, but, fuck, it's a good read.
I
It's got
they'll
some good imagery, it's got some good pacing, it's a good one.
they can do it. They had a kid get his arm ripped off by Pennywise. They can do it.
Yeah, that was a mainstream Hollywood movie with
Yeah.
a big glossy budget and stuff, it
Mhm.
can be done. They didn't
Um,
have fucking worms coming out their assholes, though.
no, yeah.
Didn't have sea
Um,
turtles either. That was
yeah,
a controversial scene in that book that pissed off a lot of people.
yeah, okay, I'll have to check out The
But
Queen.
the Queen, it was a page turner for me. Like, I rocked that in, like, a week, like, less than a week, like, 3 or 4 days.
Nice,
It's a
okay,
long one too, like, not super long, but, I would put it up there with The Troop. I think it's maybe his 1st or 2nd best book.
okay, nice,
Yeah,
cool.
some of the intervening ones weren't as good. I've read all of them at this point, but, Queen's good. Queen's real
Oh,
good. It's real gnarly too. It's, like, way more gnarly than anything else he's written.
you're a Cutter head.
I am. Like, I don't know why, but I've latched on to Nick Cutter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, sorry. The Ruins. It's
yeah,
unrated, though. I don't know if I saw the unrated version.
I think it maybe the ending, like the final scene is different. I can't remember the exact specific. I don't think there's much difference.
Okay.
But yeah, really like The Ruins, a lot of fun. Just very watchable, like that genre. And then last one here, I have a 2-pack of Hostel and Hostel Part 2, which I am a fan of these movies. Not a huge fan, but I quite like both of them. Um, Eli Roth, he's made some stinkers here and there, but generally speaking, I like his stuff. And yeah, the 1-2 punch of Hostel and Hostel Part 2, I think is pretty solid. And I would probably say I prefer the first one, but I do like the whole scene behind the scenes of the killers and how that whole angle of Hostel Part 2. I really do enjoy that. So yeah, they're both pretty good.
Yeah, I never saw the second one actually.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I have seen the first one though, and yeah, it's got some gnarly violence in there,
Mm-hmm.
blowtorch the eyeball and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, isn't there a bit where a guy falls on a chainsaw? Like he botches
Yeah,
something and he slips?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. One of the torturers or the killers or something. I want to say. Yeah, yeah.
You don't have the Green Inferno, do you?
I do not. No, that's a good one too. I do like that movie.
It's a very odd film in
Yeah,
so many
it's
ways.
weird, but it does feel like, the movies that he's sort of aping are also very weird and
Yeah, yeah.
tonally. So I kind of, for me, I think it fits pretty well in what he's trying to do. The one that, I know it's, we've gotten a lot of great drops from it, but the one that really does not work for me is Knock Knock. Um,
Wow. Chocolate with sprinkles.
yeah,
It was free pizza! Free fucking pizza!
maybe I need to revisit that because also
Free fucking pizza!
that was my introduction, I believe, to Ana de Armas, who has quietly become one of the best actresses working today. So might need to
Uh,
revisit that one.
she's no longer enjoying popcorn at the movies though, right? Tom
In
Cruise, I think she was having a fling with
Yeah,
him.
is that over? I thought that was still going.
I think I heard that they put the kibosh on that.
Mm,
I don't know though. It could be wrong. Um,
yeah,
but oh, he loves his popcorn.
Ballerina didn't make enough money, so he said, "I can't be."
I can't be seen with you. The church doesn't want you anymore.
It is pretty funny. I mean, it makes sense because they're both action movies, but it is pretty funny how Tom Cruise, his social media posts of which movies he promotes, like, that aren't his own and he takes a picture with. It is pretty funny that that was one that he specifically singled out and said, "Great movie, go see it in theaters."
Well, I can't argue, Tom. Like Brad and I saw Ballerina, unlike
Yeah,
the
it is
rest of the
great.
world, and we both really liked it.
It is great. It's just, yeah, it's yeah, it's interesting because I don't think he I don't think he'd made a post. I know he was on the red carpet for F1, but I don't think he made a post about it,
He
which
was just
that is
there.
he was just there, and that is the one that you would think would be one he would post about because it's the director of Top Gun Maverick, so
That's
he's
right.
got
Yeah.
a working and I could be wrong. I'm gonna try and confirm that, but anyway,
Okay.
that's all I got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't remember if Eli Roth. I think the other woman in the woman that's the lead of the Green Inferno. I think that was his wife.
Mhm.
Was I think they may have split up, and I think she like had an in with the Chilean government or something. And I seem to remember like putting the pieces together, and I was like, "Is he getting tax breaks because of his wife and working in Chile or whatever?" But I don't know if they're still together. But I do remember like looking into that a long time ago. But I heard Thanksgiving was a bit of a return to form for him.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was good. Mhm.
Yeah, I would watch
Um,
Thanksgiving.
he did post about F1. Yeah.
Oh, he did.
So, he
Okay,
did, he did.
good. He gave it the salute. He gave it
Yep,
the bump, the Tom bump.
yep.
The very effective Tom bump that didn't help Ballerina in the slightest, which is a shame. Ballerina's good.
Yeah, yeah. It's solid.
I mean, it's not an amazing narrative, but from an action standpoint, it is not a lesser John Wick film. Like it's
No.
on par. Like
Mhm.
it's very good.
Yeah.
Check it out. Okay, so speed round to me. Uh, so again, Brad, by all means, feel free to chime in whenever you please. It's fun to talk at you, but I can get that in my daily life. Talking to my fiance or whatever. Um, So I'll start with them sci-fi horror movies that I'd mentioned. First one's a no-brainer, but funny enough, it's like it's a goopy movie, but I don't think of it. I don't think of it as that much of a gory movie because of there's gnarly images in it, but in terms of like violence done to people, not that much of it, honestly. John Carpenter's The Thing,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
with effects by Rob Bottin and an assist by Stan the Man Winston. Like I said, goopy effects all around, some amazing effects and whatnot. But in terms of like actual bloodletting in this film, actual harm done to humans in this movie and animals, um, not that much. There's like that really silly effect of that guy getting his head clamped. And
Mhm.
the mannequins flopping around. That's just a terrible effect in an otherwise awesome movie. Then there's like tentacle goop around some guy. There's the arm bit, which is maybe the most explicitly gory thing in the whole movie. Uh, but in term like, beyond that, there's not a whole lot of bloodletting in this movie, so
Yeah,
it's
well, it's so, you know, otherworldly that you can't really put yourself in those shoes, you know what I mean?
yeah, and to me, it's more just, like, creature stuff, not so
Mhm,
much like it's not like the '88 Blob or something where it's like, that's fucked up violence happening to people. With the
mhm,
Thing, it's like, a lot of times it's people are being assimilated off screen. There's a hand being put in a guy's cheek and whatnot, but there's no actual blood that comes out of it. It happens very seamlessly.
mhm,
It's funny in that way how it is a violent movie, but in terms of bloodletting and gore, it's not a whole lot of fluid spilled.
mhm,
Um, I have the Alien Anthology box, this beautiful box that a lot of us own. Um, this only encompasses the first four Alien films. This is here because traditionally the Alien movies aren't super explicitly gory, with the exception of the chest burst moments. Like Alien and Aliens both aren't super gory movies, but they do have the chest bursts in both of those first two movies. This is here because Alien Resurrection, because that has some truly gnarly bits of gore and violence in it.
mhm.
We get head explosions. We get Dan Hedaya holding his own brain matter in his fingers. Awesome moment. Um, we get melted faces. Uh, we get another we get another head explosion, and then the pièce de résistance, the newborn being sucked out the window is one of the most horrific things you'll ever see. Like, you feel strange empathy for this hideous creature because
Mhm.
it's like akin to that guts sequence that we talked about from Final Destination, where it's just like, yeah, that looks deeply unpleasant, to have your entire being sucked inside out through a pinhole. And yeah, they show a lot of explicit gore and violence there. Like, we get viscera in that one. So yeah, not a traditionally like ultra gory franchise, but for some reason that crazy Frenchman, that City of Lost Children guy, he just wanted to put some blood and guts on film for that fourth one. Um, it's also a minor addition, but the AVP double feature, Aliens vs Predator, is obviously not the film I'm alluding to here because that was rated PG-13, which pissed off everyone and made no one happy. Aliens vs Predator Requiem, though, only has violence. Like, that is the sole charm of that film, is that it doesn't skimp on the gore. And
Mhm.
it is a rare Alien and Predator movie, at least at this point in history when this came out, that is just entirely about the gore and violence. Like, there's nothing else here. It's just blood and guts. And I like those bits when
Yeah.
I can see them, and then the rest of it, I actually have a soft spot for that movie. Like, I did see it in the theater with my friend. It was, I think, an empty theater experience. And if you shift into the right mood, like if you treat it as a B movie, like not as something equal to an Alien or a Predator movie, but just like the '80s Blob is actually a really good example of kind of what it seems to be going for. Is it feels like a 1950s horror movie, but ultra violent and set in the 2000s. I think if you approach it from that angle, where it's like it's between a slasher movie and a '50s like atomic age horror movie or monster movie, it kind of works in like a
Okay.
dumbass way. But anyway, uh, let's go to Korea, where we don't have any horror movies here, although one of them, I guess you could argue. But we do have a lot of blood spilled. Like these Koreans and their vengeance, they go apeshit for this vengeance.
Love it.
Yeah, I know for real. I saw the devil. You know this one.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, this one has quite a lot of bloodletting in it.
Mhm.
Blood soaked almost. Some truly savage violence in this one. Very, very strong performances too. Pretty good movie overall. I remember being hyped for this before it came out, and I was very excited that it got a domestic release in an era when we weren't always getting these over here. Um, this one has quite a lot of bloodletting, but actually, this one's here for a funny reason. Like, just this is a little bit of a gag pick. This is a movie called Asura, which I think is like it's a Hindu god. I think of like wrath. Um, so this is a Korean like political drama of sort, like gangster slash political drama, and I describe this movie as one of the most violent films I've ever seen. But it's not through like physical violence and bloodletting. It's just atmosphere. The way that people talk to each other in this movie is just like savage and mean, and just everybody's yelling constantly,
Hmm.
and just like they spit their dialogue at each other. It's just a vicious, nasty movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just remember being struck by that. I was like, Jesus, these guys are at 11 this entire movie. Like, calm the fuck down. It was kind of incredible, actually. I enjoyed it. It's not a great movie, but that was a fun little tidbit that I get to share with people. It's like that's on
Mhm.
my shelf. If you want if you want to watch some nasty fucking dialogue, that's a movie. The Yellow Sea. This is a very good movie. I only watched it the one time, but this got a lot of like quiet hype, and I quietly like put it on like my to do list a long, long, long time ago. I did watch it a long, long time ago,
Mhm.
and this one has some intense violence and bloodletting. Also features some like really nasty villains that they like make an explicit point of like dehumanizing to the point that they look like cavemen like eating a leg of a boar over a fire barrel at the end of it, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, these like they're doing something here with the storytelling where it's like they're kind of signaling to us these are subhuman people.
Okay. Yeah.
um yeah, a lot of violence, a lot of fun. Sue, uh this one I bought on DVD specifically because I heard the last 10 minutes of it is just an insane bloodbath. Does not disappoint. There's a lot of knives and a lot of knives and stabbing weapons in this one in the last 10 minutes or so. It's a pretty good revenge thriller. But yeah, the finale of this one is just drenched in blood. Good times, good times. Okay, so let's continue the world tour and go to Japan. So we have one that I think you've seen, or maybe you know it at the very least. He's been mentioned thrice, I think, so far. Takashi Miike's Ichi the Killer.
Yes.
This is the Well Go edition on Blu-ray. I did previously own this on DVD. And this movie, I don't think it's an amazing movie by any means. It's based on a manga of the same name. But this is a special movie to me in that I bought a bootleg Godzilla movie on DVD in 2001. So it was kind of the beginning of my bootleg journey, buying bootleg movies from this strange fellow who made bootleg Godzilla movies and
Yeah.
didn't know he was selling them to a 14-year-old boy in Washington. uh, anyway, that DVD had a one of those interactive DVD menus where there was a secret option on it where there was like play the movie, chapter select, subtitle select, and then if you press the cursor over, you could highlight Godzilla's eye. And I was like, I didn't mean to do that, but let's hit play. And when you do that, it starts to play trailers for contemporary Japanese films. And I was like 14 at the time, and two of the trailers on that disc were like life-changing. The first one was for a movie called Shura Yukihime, also known as The Princess Blade, which is a action film with choreography by Donnie Yen, working in Japan,
Okay.
and delivers on the action front. It was like I said, like life changing. That trailer was amazing. Also, the music was by Kenji Kawai, who is one of my very favorite composers now. Like I said, life changing. Second trailer though was for this film, Ichi the Killer. The first image in that trailer is the front half of a human tongue falling into a jar of water, and it makes a ting noise when the tongue ring on that fraction of a tongue hits the bottom of the glass, and then it's just a what the fuck is that? Like it's just like insane MTV style editing, and this movie is just all sorts of wild.
Mhm.
It's perverse, it's bloody, it's very entertaining. Tadanobu Asano is very, very good in it. He was kind of the hot shit actor at the time, kind of still a big deal in Japan, honestly. Has done some Hollywood movies. He's in the MCU, Santino, if you're still here. He's one of Thor's buddies who does fuck all in those movies. Anyway, this movie features a shot where the front part of a human face slides down a wall, and I think a boob gets cut off at one point. Just all manner of people getting sliced and diced, lots of blood. Good times for the kids, for the kids. The Street Fighter collection. The first one, these are Sonny Chiba movies. I talk about
Okay.
these, I think, every podcast, but
Yeah.
the first one features a part where Sonny Chiba rips a man's he cradles his balls and he strokes his shaft,
Yes.
but he yanks.
He yanks.
Real hard. And yeah, he yanks
Strokes
a
a little
man's
too hard.
he yanks a man's balls and dick off. And then gives a look and then goes, ew, and throws it on the floor. It's kind of incredible.
That definitely qualifies then for
Yeah,
this.
these movies aren't super gory, but they do actually feature really early instances of like the X-ray effect in live action. So it like shows like a monochromatic image of like a fake skull, and then somebody punches it,
Okay.
and then it
Yeah.
shatters.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like a person with like blood all over their face to like basically it's like conveying that he hit that guy so hard his skull cracked. Pretty cool. Lone Wolf and Cub, Kozure Okami. These movies, there's 6 of them, are in the Criterion Collection, though I don't own that version because that shit's expensive. All of these are known for their violence. They're also based on a manga, but these are live action movies. All manner of delimbings and that classic Japanese chambara arterial spray effect where people get sliced and then just like gallons of blood.
Yeah.
Mom was raised on this shit. I was too. I love this shit. Never get to, so many limbs, so many decapitations, just fountains of blood. And it's like that 1970s like paint like blood too. So it's like we're not going for realism, we're just going for hyper real. In that same vein, not a Japanese film, but takes place in Japan, probably partially filmed in Japan. The Wobaween. The unrated version of this, which I think this is the only way to get it, features a sequence where a town of ninjas attack Logan, aka the Wobaween, and and they get thrown into a Zamboni kind of machine, like a snowblower, but like it looks like a Zamboni. And they get turned into human like red mist when they go through the guts of the machine. And it happens multiple times and it takes place in a snowy village. So the red sprays all over the snow. It's like, how did you not put that in the theatrical release of the movie?
Yeah, I still need to see that version. I've never watched it.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's like also a Fox film. It's like Live Free or Die Hard. If you remember the Len Wiseman one, where that was a PG-13 theatrical release, and the R-rated cut just has F-bombs and blood. Like that's really the only difference, and it's better, like marginally better.
That does tend to improve things.
Yeah, F-bombs and blood make everything. Okay, and if Santino's still here, which I seriously doubt he is, otherwise I would have seen some comments. Let's get to some anime. So we have Ninja Scroll, which you have you seen this yet, Brad?
No.
God damn it, Brad! You got to watch Ninja Scroll. Make sure Lizzie's not around; she'll think less of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite serious on that. Make sure Lizzie's not around; she will judge you, and by extension, me. But
I
Ninja
won't tell her it's from you. I won't tell her it's from you.
I mean, it's okay. Like, if you need to throw someone under the bus, I'm your man.
Maybe I
I'm-
will.
I mean, she'll see that it's from Japan, and she'll be like, "Oh, it must be that Trevor fuck."
Yeah.
Santino's still here. Awesome. So get ready, Santino. We got animes to talk about. So Ninja Scroll, required viewing for you, Brad. Full of violence, full of cruelty, full of creative violence. The Berserk trilogy of films, the Golden Age arc. I've talked about these plenty of times. By the time you get to that, like, they are all blood soaked, like drenched in blood. But by the time you get to that third one, they kick it up a notch, and it gets to that cruel space, like that cruel, uncomfortable space, where it's
Mhm.
like we're doing things to the characters that's just mean, man. That needs to be on the soundboard. That's mean, man. That's just mean, man.
Yeah.
James Coburn. Santino shares that he saw Ninja Scroll in the theaters. I presume with your dad. That's very cool. I've never done that before. Seen Ninja Scroll in a theater or with my dad. Fist of the North Star, the movie. The tagline, he'll blow your mind right out of your skull. I
Yep.
think I've sent you gifs of this many times, Brad.
I think I've seen a few. Yeah.
So this is a franchise about martial arts that can do anything, basically. So the hero of it uses pressure points to cause people to explode. So he touches parts of you and then tells you, "Omae wa mou shindeiru," which is on your soundboard. It means you are already dead. And then they say, "What are you talking about? You just touched me." And then their head explodes in graphic detail.
Nice.
And it's just that over and over and over again. Oh yeah, his rivals, instead of touching pressure points, their fingers just like go through people like butter. So they just like go and like people just turn into like 4 pieces or whatever. It's just that for an hour and a half.
That does sound pretty awesome. That does sound
It's
pretty
pretty
good.
fucking awesome.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah. What are you doing not watching this shit?
I don't know. Nobody told me this before.
Well, Fist of the North Star. Look it up, bitch. And Santino says, "Yes, I did." And he was like, "That was interesting. Yeah. That bit when that snake came out of that lady's cooch, and when that rock man made love to that woman and then died from it because she's poison, you see." I'm sure your dad enjoyed that. This is why Lizzie can't be in the room, Brad.
Yeah.
Akira on 4K. This movie is an astounding technical feat, absolutely gorgeous, also horrifically violent. Absolutely horrifically violent at times. I can't believe I ended up a normal, well-adjusted human after I saw that when I was like 5.
Yeah.
My cousin was pretty cool. He didn't give a fuck. Wicked City. This is one of many anime from the 80s that features a woman's boob turning into a demon mouth. Also features a bit where a guy gets mad and punches another man so hard that his head explodes. I don't think that's ever explained how he's able to pull that off. Like, it's not a plot point like Fist of the North Star. He just does it. He just gets real mad, and that guy's head just goes. I think that clip's on my Instagram. Like, one of the few things on my Instagram. But yeah, heavily inspired by The Thing, the aforementioned Thing. And yeah, tons of ultra violence. This was a amazing period in Japanese animation where just like that was the objective. Blood and guts. Blood, tits, and violence. Similarly, MD Geist. These are so bad. These are so bad. But also really, really, really violent and just mean, man. Who directed shit? Koichi Ohata, I think, is he's the designer. Anyway, our director, no, Hayato Ikeda. Um, the director of these movies has a reputation in Japanese animation for just making foul shit, just like mean spirited foul shit. What? Why are you so angry, man? like, who keeps giving you money? And yeah, there's some cruelty and violence in this that's pretty gnarly.
Mhm.
Okay, and last but not least, we have The Guyver, the OVA series from the early '90s. All manner of delimbings and melting of people. Lots of gnarly violence in this. Again,
Yep.
was reading this comic when I was probably 5. um, Similarly, the live action Guyver 2 on DVD. This features a sequence wherein a villain is dispatched by being stabbed in the flanks, having his stomach sliced open, having his skull smashed against a tree, having his eyeballs shot out with laser beams, and then he's finally dead.
So it's a kids movie.
For kids.
Yeah.
From the same people who made Power Rangers, by the way, the same stunt
okay.
team.
Then yeah.
Yeah, and I would be remiss if I didn't share my treasure from Portland Retro Gaming Expo on VHS,
Oh.
signed by this man, David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, the star of the film. It says, "Trevor, you go get help. I'll take care of the bear," which is a quote directly from the movie.
Nice.
And signed by David Hayter, again, the voice of Solid Snake. I stood in a line with that very large, very stinky nerd. He talked at me about voice actors for about 20 minutes. My fiance was kind enough to stand in that line with me for emotional support, you see. We did the saving grace, though, was that an old man was walking a llama through that section of the convention. The llama's name was Caesar, by the way.
Oh.
And my fiance was like, "Oh, that's a llama." And then the old man walked up to her and she said, "Can I pet your llama?" And he said, "No, but you can hug him. In fact, you have to hug him." And she was like, "I'm not gonna not." So she hugged Caesar the llama
You
for
can hug him,
free.
but you can't pet him.
I mean, she saw a pretty lady and was like, "Yeah, you can hug my llama."
Okay. All right.
It's
Now
like
it
just
makes
an old
sense.
guy fishing for attention.
Okay. Now
You
it
want
makes sense.
attention as an old doddering man? Get a llama.
How was what's his name? David.
Hater.
How was the meeting of him? Was he chill? Was he would he have a conversation or what's the
We had a little bit of a conversation, like not much. I was nervous and couldn't collect myself very well, but he was pretty cool. He gave me a fist bump, as you do. He asked my fiance's name, like he didn't ignore her. That was kind of nice.
Mhm.
And fun bit was that the voice actress who does the character Meryl from the Metal Gear games, she was in a booth next to him and she was bored. You could tell. Like she spent a lot of time with that llama. Somebody brought her fan art on a tablet, and it was of their characters from Metal Gear banging. It was tasteful but obscene. And so she came over. She just interrupted like my autograph session, and she said, "Dave, you have to see this." And then they're like looking at it and laughing at it. And
So
then
you saw it?
yeah, she showed it to him, and then she
Oh,
showed it to
wow.
us, and they were both laughing about it. And then she started singing again. She was probably bored, maybe drunk. I don't know. She started singing "Love Is a Battlefield," and my fiance is a trained singer, and she loves to sing any excuse. So she just joined, and they did a little duet. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. You're just having a
Wow.
duet with the lady who has a line of people waiting to get autographs from her." And then David Hayter uh, used that opportunity to very skillfully uh, drop a quote from the games in the Solid Snake voice. It's like, does that mean love can bloom on a battlefield?" And I was like, "Oh my god, he said the thing."
Wow. It seems like
um,
that was a pretty good meeting. That's pretty
I,
good.
I mean, I told the story just now, and I hope it wasn't boring. But I told the story just now because I get to hold that in my
Yeah.
head, where it's like, yeah, I have this, I have a signature and stuff. That's cool, but I get to have the memory of my fiance doing a duet with, pretty famous voice actors, and
That's
then
pretty.
Solid Snake following it up pretty seamlessly with the perfect quote for the occasion. That was
That's
pretty
about as
cool.
good as you can expect from one of those things. That's
Yeah.
pretty top tier.
I mean, I don't normally do the meet and greet thing. Like, I don't normally show up for people. I show up for Jamesy, if Levi is still listening. Like, the people come out for Jamesy. That would be the angry video game nerd, James Rolfe. The people come
Mhm.
out for Jamesy. I came out for Jamesy. I stood in that damn line. But yeah, like, I never know what to say, and also, like, when you're standing in the line, it kind of dawns on you, especially when I saw the angry video game nerd. It's like, there's a lot of people here, and this guy does this a lot. Like, there's nothing that I can say that will register with this man in any meaningful way beyond, just like, thank you. Just like, I
Mhm.
appreciate what you've done. Keep doing it. Thank you. So that's ultimately mostly what I used my time to do.
Yeah.
So I
Cool.
said,
Cool.
I did ask, like, have you seen any other Guyver 2 VHS tapes? And he said, no. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
I did see that he had headshots from this movie, like, on his table, like, in case people wanted to buy prints or something.
Mm.
But yeah, he was like, yeah, I think I've seen some Guyver stuff, but this is the first VHS I've gotten. So I was like, oh, I did good then. I
Pretty
brought the
cool.
right totem.
You gotta stump them. You gotta try and not stump them, but like you said, come up with something they can't say they've seen before.
Yeah, that was my thinking, was that the people in line, like, ahead of me or behind me, they all had Metal Gear stuff. They all had
Mhm.
their, PlayStation 1 Metal Gear Solid discs and stuff, or whatever. Maybe if they're really weird, they had Wolves on DVD, or if they wanted to stir up some controversy or something, maybe they brought X-Men, and asked questions about what it was like to work with Bryan Singer. If you were there, Brad, that's probably what you would do, right?
Just watch them like squirm.
Yeah, it's like, so what was so tell me about Bryan Singer. You spend a lot of long nights working with Bryan
Yeah.
Singer. You go to any pool parties, Dave? Tell me about the LA pool party scene.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah, but no, I was like, I love Guyver. I even wore my Guyver t-shirt, and I love this movie, even though it's not amazing or anything. So I was like, you know what? I'll get it. I'll fish out my parents' old VHS tape of it, have that sucker sign it. So I
Mhm.
did it. I did the thing.
Nice.
And we did it. We did the thing. Uh, so yeah, that's all my blood and guts picks. So like I said, that was the very long speed round. Thank you for bearing with me and listening to my very long, boring story. That
No, that
being
was
said,
great.
oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hopefully it wasn't boring. But so that concludes tonight's live stream. But before we go, yo, bud, thanks for coming out. I really
Hey,
appreciate it.
always happy to be here. Thanks once again for having me, and glad we were able to get it in as we always do at the end of the month.
Well, it helps when you poke me about it. I do appreciate that quite a lot. That is a special feeling. Like having a project and having other people hold you accountable to it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like that is a special thing. Like when you miss an episode of your podcast or something and your friends be like, "Brad, what the fuck?"
That's
It's
true.
like
That is
that
a
feels
good
good, man.
feeling. That is
Feels
a good
good.
feeling. Mhm.
Yeah. But before we go, yo, Brad, why don't you tell our listeners and viewers where they can find you and your super awesome podcast?
Yeah, it's the Cinema Speak podcast. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. You can find us on Twitter at the Cinema Speak, Instagram Cinema Speak Podcast, YouTube as Cinema Speak, and on the web at cinemaspeak.libsyn.com.
All right, well said. And Santino chimed in just now to say, "Great show, guys." So
Cool.
thanks for sticking with us, buddy.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that,
appreciate it.
man. That's really cool. While he's here, I'm going to put you on the spot, Brad. When is Santino going to be back on the show? Do you have a
Uh,
movie on the horizon that he is fingered for?
eh, he, he is
That
fingered, I
he can
believe.
cradle the balls of and
He
stroke the
he will
shaft of?
he will be stroking off Predator Badlands is the plan.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's a
which I'm
great pick.
I'm excited for. I'm hyped.
Dude, I watched Killer of Killers over the weekend.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it is
It's
good.
it's it's legitimately good.
Did you find that each of the stories got better as they went too? I actually found the first one was a little weak, and was that like the Viking one was first? I want to say.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought they got better and better as they went. Like the samurai one was really cool.
I
Um,
disagree. I didn't like the World War II one as much.
yeah, yeah.
I like
Well,
I
maybe I should. I think the first one was the weakest for me by far. That I will say by far.
I
Maybe they
agree.
don't get better, but
I think the Japanese one was my favorite. The nonverbal element of it was really good.
mhm,
Just the theming and the artistry, like, of the storytelling was so efficient and
mhm,
clean. The Viking one was it was fun on a visceral level, and holy shit, that voice actress is nuts. Like, she really saved that in a lot of ways.
mhm.
Like, not that it was in danger of not being good or anything. It is good, but her performance is incredible. Like, she goes hard. I don't know her name, but I'll have to look her up because she was terrific. And the World War II one, I don't know if it was I think it was really jarring to go from a nonverbal one to just like a chatterbox, like,
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
character that just won't shut the fuck up and is kinda incompetent. It's like, I don't wanna spend you. Like, I know why you're here. It's because we need somebody who can fly a thing,
Mhm,
but it's just not the same. Also, just, the flying stuff just wasn't as visceral or as engaging. I didn't
mhm.
know that I'm pretty sure that the captain of the pilots, I think that was Michael Biehn.
It was because that was the whole thing where he has been killed by.
The Predator, the Terminator, and the
That's
Alien.
what it is. Yes. Yep.
He wasn't killed by the alien, he was killed by a crash.
All right. All right. Well,
He got killed in a crash. Alien didn't get him, it hurt him.
take it up with IGN. They're the ones that wrote the article about it or
Take it up with
whatever.
Michael B and be like, "Hey, Mike, Alien didn't get you.
Yeah.
It was the crash that killed you." It was the Sulaco, bitch.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was Ripley. She crashed the fucking plane.
Yeah. She's the one to blame.
It's Ripley's fault.
Mhm.
But yeah, he didn't sound like Michael Biehn. It was weird.
No. No.
Like the whole time I was like, that's not a voice actor. And then I got to the credits. I was like, oh, that must have been Michael Biehn. He sounded
Yeah.
weird and old.
Yeah.
Bit of, it's a fun bit of casting, but
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool.
yeah, it was cool, but no,
Mhm.
no. um, but yeah, I'm hyped for Predator Badlands. I already asked Kyle, are we going to go see Predator Badlands? And he said yes. So
Nice. Nice.
maybe I can rope him into doing a podcast on it.
Yeah. Do it up.
But yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the show, Santino. Uh, okay. As for myself, my show is called Catching Up on Cinema. You are watching it right now. We are not producing content on a regular schedule. That's kind of thing right now. I do have an episode in the can with my buddy Levi, Your Captain Speaking. Check out his YouTube channel. Uh, I'll post that soon. But if you're interested in checking out our extensive backlog of content, some of it's on YouTube, all of it's on pretty much every podcasting feed that you can imagine. Just look up Catching Up on Cinema. We're pretty easy to find. I am available on the social medias in the form of the Twitter and Instagram, but I don't use them very much, so don't bother trying to get hold of me. And yeah, don't expect any consistent content over the next weeks or whatever, but I'm still making stuff, still having Brad on every month. So
Mhm.
look forward to that when we do our Tales from the Shelf episodes. That's really hard to do after 2.5 hours. And yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. And we will catch you next time.